Warning. Warning. This is not a test. This is not a test.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, race fans of every stripe and every speed, welcome, welcome, welcome to Hot Tonight, the asphalt breathes, the engines roar, and the very air crackles with an energy you can almost taste. We're not just here for a race, we're here for an experience, a spectacle of speed, skill, and sheer, unadulterated will. This is the Full-Length Cup Challenge! Where legends are forged, where champions are crowned, and where the boundaries of possibility are shattered. And you, the greatest fans in the world, are not just spectators. You are part of this living, breathing, high-octane history. So lean in, hold tight, and prepare to be electrified. Because live from the asphalt jungle of Atlanta, Georgia, and broadcasted to every screen tuned in around the globe, it is time to drop the green flag. It is time for the Full-Length Cup Challenge! Let the chaos begin!
Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Full-Length Cup Challenge. This evening we count down to green and get ready to go green from iRacing's virtual Echo Park Speedway here in Hampton, Georgia. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing. The Golden Lock Racing Series, the Full-Length Cup Challenge, and Fast Fridays. No matter what you are racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Shelton Prince. Alongside the booth for tonight once again is Kirk Mills. DJ Line is working the controls as our producer. Cameras provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Tonight, it's not only the continuation of the King of the Super Speedway series, but the in-season tournament kicks off tonight, Kirk. The top drivers from this series ready to duke it on out to see if they can get some cash as part of the in-season tourney all the way through to Indy.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. These guys really want to make some money, so they just got to beat one guy every week. Now it's a new race. You don't need to just win the dang thing. You just need to beat one guy, and then you keep on going all the way to the end. And if you keep doing it, you're going to make yourself a lot of dough here. It's going to be a lot of fun, but this is dangerous. It's the one track that breaks all brackets. That is going to be a #1 thing. If you ever made one, it's probably going to break you because it's a big track. It's a lot. It's full speed. Any sort of mistake, it can cause a huge crash, and whenever that happens, it take out the favorites, and all of a sudden your brackets are all over the place. So it's going to be a lot of fun here today for Echo Park Speedway, and it's going to be really nice going into the night.
It's going to be an interesting one here at the Super Speedway. Drivers have talked about some struggles, but we've had 11 different drivers lock their way so far into the postseason, at least via victories. Heitman, the last one to pick up a victory with the race that happened last week at Pocono to add that list forward. But tonight, it's going to be a challenge for many of these competitors to see if they're going to be able to pull off an upset to add their name to the list. After all, 260 laps the distance, Kirk. A lot of laps, a lot of tire sets available.
That's right. It's going to be pretty fun. I'll be honest with you. These guys, I think the number one thing, they're not going to necessarily worry about tires. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. What's going to be a big deal is getting to the end. That's going to be everything. Already up and down pit road, it has already been, they greased in their pit stalls. They're ready to go, ready for pit stops. But it's all about getting in and out of those pits as quickly as possible for track position, because it's so hard to pass in this type of racing. It's absolutely difficult, and it's a lot of fun to watch if you're outside up here in the booth. But if you're in that car, it can get frustrating really quickly.
While these competitors tonight are getting in position and ready to go, qualifying already taking place the past day or so to set the grid. Grand total of 39 have entered Echo Park Speedway here in Atlanta and Hampton, Georgia for tonight's festivities. It's time to see how they'll start Super Speedway, part of our Super Speedway Challenge. On the pole, Lucas Hoytsma. He's currently the leader in the King of the Super Speedway Challenge. Ralph Hutchinson will start in second spot tonight. Row number 2, that will feature Patrick Gitter. Different look for him in the 21. Jonathan Delaney start his 6 machine with a teammate in front of him in row number 2. Row 3, Matt DiCiani hooks up with his fellow Fortis car in front of him. Andrew Dyson starts in 6th. 7th spot goes the way of Matt White. Matthew Lawn start off in P8 tonight here at Echo Park Speedway. 9th spot goes Derek Heitman in the green tonight. Stephen Williams will start next.
Starting in 11th will be Clayton Hoffman, and to their outside will be Dustin Hall. Starting in 13th tonight will be Rich Kleinman, and to his outside will be Adam Benefiel. Starting in 15th tonight, Tanner Marty. Great starting spot with Dylan Kritz to his outside. Starting in 17th tonight, Nicholas Vroman, and to his outside, Sean O'Brien Jr. Starting in 19th will be Hunter Truel, and to his outside, Jedi Taylor.
21st goes to Alex Murray. Cameron Stone starts 22nd. 23rd, Jeremy Miller. Then Larry McDonald in 24th. 25th goes to Robert Miller. Noah Hodson in 26th. Dave Hoytsma and Alex Princeton start in the top 30. Billy Breckley with them, and Stoney Benfield in 30th. Rest of the grid looks like this. Chris Davis, Thomas Komacheski start towards the tail with Tyler Hunter and Neil Pearson. Then towards the tail as well as William Owens this evening with Chad Sanner, while with Gregory Robinson and Paul Hill way deep. Devin Medeiros did not set a time officially, but was the last person to enter for this week. One driver did miss, who did put up a qualifying time. So we're just about set to go racing here. It's going to be a fun night, Kirk.
Oh, I'm excited. You're excited. Let's get ready to get Super Speedway racing here from Echo Park Speedway. Here we go. Buggity, buggity, buggity. Let's go racing, boys. Out of the gate, good start for that bottom line. You look at Lucas Hoytsma. Gets a huge jump from a push from Patrick Gitter, and DiCiani leads him down in the turn 1. The top 4 are now single file on the bottom, almost 5, now 6.
Just 16 laps in the first stage, remember. These drivers already trying to do one thing. Quickly get to the bottom. That top line takes a lot of energy to get working. There's a lot of cars up there trying to get that line to work as the first lap goes to Hoytsma. Lucas Hoytsma leads. Ralph Hutchinson has already dropped to 7th.
Just like that, it's very bad to be on the outside on a restart. We've seen that all week. But over time, once these tires start working in, it gets a little loose on the bottom, so you're going to start seeing this bottom line start to walk its way up towards the middle groove. And once it does that, you're going to start seeing a lot more 2 and 3 wide racing. But right now, you can see that 6 car Delaney giving a good push out to the back bumper. The 8 cars around goes Dustin Hall head on into the wall. Huge crash. 3, 4, 5. I think I see Cameron Stone going through the grass. More cars around, and that will be our first caution of the day. Heavy nose damage for Hall, and that will most certainly give him a lot of time in the pits.
Chad Sander picking up mandatory repairs, a part of that stack up. He climbed up the back end of Dustin Hall's car. Let's take a look. EOL request by Hall from this slam.
Oh, he's not clear. And unfortunately, Sander just not quite in a spot to get out of the way quick enough, unfortunately. So Sander's car is most certainly killed. We'll have to take a look at that 94's onboard. I think that would be interesting to take a look at. But yeah, I mean, O'Brien, you see it there. We might want to get a little bit of a closer shot to see it, but yikes. Heavy hits for those 3 cars, and Stone just goes spinning. I don't believe he got much damage, but the 94, Chad Sander, he's the one that got a really big hit after we saw the 1 car hit the wall head on. Let's take a look and see what it looked like from his view. He barely saw it, had to check up, and just, wrong spot. Hard right front damage. I don't think it was much else, so he's going to have an entire right front suspension replaced. That could take 8+ minutes, so it's going to be a while before we see him back out there competitive, but the 1 car most certainly is also going to have a lot of damage. He came down, not clear, got loose, and just head on into the wall just like that.
So Dustin Hall, significant damage already. Chad Sander has parked it already for the night, it looks like. So pit stops underway already for some. Many of them were in the back anyhow, involved in the incident, so most you're topping off and checking for damage. So quickie yellow flags flying just like that, and that's one of the major things. That's a fear here, Kirk. It's so easy for things to stack up and get cautions, precautions here. There's so many opportunities for incidents. You have to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be able to always be on the lookout for smoke. If you see smoke ahead of you, get on the brakes, get back down. Don't wait. You always got to be on the lookout, because if you lose just a moment of focus, just a little bit of time where you get lost in the drive, you can really make some mistakes that will send you straight to the back. And we saw that there. I mean, that was a really far back contact from Chad Sander. You got to feel really bad for him, because it's just so unfortunate. It seems like this is a common occurrence. He just accidentally gets into something every other week, and it's so bad. I feel real bad for him. But we're looking at Andrew Dyson's on board right now. He's in a position where he's right in the heart of the storm, right in the middle of this field. A lot of cars came down to pit road to get some fuel top-offs, probably. To be able to do that is probably going to be the right choice. But where our good friend here, Dyson, is at, and Nolan Hodgson as well. Let's take a look at Nolan Hodgson. He's also towards the rear, not necessarily in the middle, but he puts on the VR headset, and he's a happy guy. That's something I like about Nolan Hodgson. He's pretty cool. He's got a brand new paint scheme this week. Take a look at that paint scheme. Let's get a nice view of that thing if we can. Right here, look at that thing. It looks a lot nicer than what he ran here back when he won this race earlier in the spring. He has really, developed as a driver, and his team has really developed. And after winning two races, he's fast. He's got the talent. He could definitely go out there and win another one.
Seen that earlier on in the season. It feels like a distant memory. We've had a lot of changes to the package since then. Completely different aero package now for the super speedways since the new build. This track is not the same as the previous Atlanta, to say the very least. But we're getting ready for restart. Top ops for 26th on back. The only drivers who extended service were Princeton, Maderos, and that's it. Hall still getting repairs done on the one car. Getting all set for the restart. White spot, Gitter, White, DeCiani amongst the first four cars here.
Right. Here we go. Remember, watch that outside line. It doesn't like to go. We'll see how they handle this restart. Patrick Gitter, we're back underway.
Good timing by Gitter, actually. White giving him a push to Kevin Harvick-themed paint schemes, working together to build up speed to try and get a run high side. 3-car tandem, in fact. Will that work with this package? It seems to be working, at least for now. A rarity here in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're maintaining. I mean, they got to be able to make it go forward. You got to be able to get some clearance. Right now, they're even. They got the side draft factor now. It's starting to kick in. So maybe those lines will start doing a little bit better. But that outside line, it's doing a lot better than expected, mostly because of that 10 car giving that 21 a great shot, sending him through, and now that 21 is clear, so he has moved down to the bottom lane, and that means the new job of pusher goes to that 92 right there of Hoffman. He's got to become a pusher right here, right now, if he wants to be able to make that outside line stick.
White tried a side draft, couldn't get it to work. Keep in mind, one thing to keep an eye on in the outside line, Kirk, these cars like to drift up. You mentioned that you're expecting that from the bottom to the middle line. Those running that middle line seem to swoop up an extra half a lane, it seems, Kirk.
Yeah, it's possible. I think that's going to happen a lot throughout the day, but it's very early. We haven't even hit lap 10. We're about to come and take lap 10 here. But when that happens, you're going to start seeing, whoa, holy cow, take a look at that move right there. On the outside, just like that, Heitman trying to make a move up there for fourth. He had a run, he moves up, and now he's side by side for position. But back to what we're talking about, definitely early on like this, you're going to feel fine. It's going to be just fine. But up until the point where you start overloading that right rear or the right front and you just start sliding up the hill slightly. And when that happens, they're going to try and find a more stable line to be able to make sure the car doesn't spin out from underneath them. And the best way to do that is to drift up the racetrack. So you're going to see that throughout the night. But you can see right here, take a look at that 10 car. We know he's a great pusher. That 76 recognized it, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to move up and see if you can give me a shot all the way up to the front.
Is a Ryco Power teammate in terms of that side of things, so trying something there. It looks like they have at least the speed to maintain, despite the fact there's not the numbers there. It's going to be hard to pass, it almost feels like, just because this top line takes so much work to get going. It's been like that in officials all week as well, where a lot of people just don't even make the move. It's so difficult to actually win the race.
That's right. Once you get into a position on the bottom of the racetrack, you want to hold tight. Don't let that spot up. Do not let someone get underneath you, because if you do, you start having problems and going straight to the back. And the longer we go into the night, the more grip these cars are going to get, and the more likely people are going to want to stay to the bottom. But don't say they can't go to the top, because you see Heitman here, he's feathering the throttle, trying to hang on to the race car. It's a little loose. He's trying to get up there, but you saw the 71, Hunter Truel, glide up and block the advantage. And immediately that 76 went right on back after he started lifting. But let's take a look at some of these guys in the top 5 that I have not seen in the top 5 all season. Look at this. Tanner Marty in the 29 car. Sitting here, 4th car on the inside line. We have not seen him in the top 5 all year. But he's sitting here on the bottom line in a right position. The only goal he probably has is to not give up the bottom. Don't give up the bottom, and you might stay in the top 5 all day.
Strong chance for that. Tanner Marty is a good example of that, running 4th. Jeremy Miller.
Oh, around goes White. Head into the wall. He saves the car. No caution. But he's back at the back of the field in the 10 car. Matt White, he is now dropping all the way to the back. He has right side damage, and he just got it loose in the middle of the corner, similar to how we saw Kyle Larson earlier last year just get loose. He loaded up the right rear and just lost it. That type of thing happens here at Atlanta. You got to be careful. These things get real loose real quick.
Happens here at Echo Park with this package, and now he's at risk of losing the draft. Yeah, no caution. That breaks things up on the top line a fair bit. All of this as well, at the time of things, Patrick Gitter is now the race leader as we go on. So we have had things slot around a little bit, and a lot of people actually quietly move up despite not making too many apparent passes on that bottom line. Miller's up in the top 5, as we said. Hunter Truel is up there. Billy Brickley's up there. A lot of cars have gained spots despite the difficulty of the outside lane in the first place.
Yeah, that was amazing job by these guys. But you got to remember that most of these guys, some of these spots were made up on pit road. Some of these spots were made up just by avoiding the accident, being in the right place at the right time. And right now that 44 has really impressed me because he started 29th today. He's up to 8th. I mean, that was quick to go from the back to the front.
See right now that top line still trying hard. Heitman trying to pull back some cars. The Altus machines trying to work together though, and there's that drift up we were talking about. Miller drifted up all the way to the third line in that Ford. And the further back in the draft you go, the more aerotight a lot of these cars expect to go.
Absolutely. The outside line itself is going to be difficult to be able to make any ground. We can see that now in the daytime. This is when the outside line you'd think would be a little better, but you can see we already got DeCiani moving up, Miller's moving up. A lot of these guys are starting to straddle that first white line. So this is just early stuff. Like the tires are just starting to scream. So once it actually, you know, it'll be way more dominant. You'll see people move to the middle lane actually for speed. So what these guys have got to do is they got to be able to hang on to the cars in the middle lane whenever they can. We got a penalty here for Stony Benfield, though. We'll have to take a look and see what happened.
He passed below the red line, and that's a rule here tonight. Even with that big apron on the front stretch, you cannot go underneath the red and white line and make a pass, and that's what he attempted to do on Jason S. Taylor. He slipped underneath the line, tried to make a move, and now he's having to back off a ways bit. Try and get ready to serve a penalty. Oh, wow. They continue to fiercely fight up there. No progress made still. For Heitman, he's got the wiggles. Big save, 76.
What a save by that 76 car, but now we're 3 wide. Hang on to it, buddy. We got to get through this field here right now. They're 4 wide almost for a second. You got Vroman in the middle, and behind them, the 7 car gets involved with the 30. The 19 of Princeton. You see Nolan Hodgson involved in a wreck behind. 4 cars all spinning at the bottom of the racetrack, as that will bring out our second caution of the day here on lap 21. That will do that. Oh my goodness, that checkup, you saw that coming from a distance. 7 car. We got to take a look and see what happened to him.
Tell you there was some contact. 7 in the 30 right there. Middle of the corner entry. That stacks everyone on up.
Yeah, I mean, the 12 car doesn't have too much damage, it looks like. He got on the binders pretty quick, but I think the 7 cars got a little bit. 30 cars most certainly has got a bit. I think that was just not checking up for the corner a little bit. Not necessarily the right choice to do, but accidents happen. It's part of racing, but let's take a look at that again here. Look at that 7 car. He just goes into the corner. He gets a rear-ended a little bit here and just spun right out.
Yeah, Princeton joined on in. Hodgson picks up some damage. A couple others also get collected. And this is a quick EO racetrack, so not going to be a lot of time for those drivers to get their repairs done here. Try and get back to 100%. See what Hodgson had to say about this incident, or at least had to see about it.
Let's see. So right here, he sees a huge gap. He's trying to be safe here. I mean, he's just waiting for the right time to go. And then just, whoa, right there, smoke. What are you going to do? A little bit of left front damage, a little bit of right side damage. Again, a little front end damage there. But, I mean, that's all repairable. He'll be able to have a full recovery and probably get back out here into the race and still be pretty quick. So keep that in mind. Also, we had that pass under the red line. That has since been cleared after they had already pulled into the pits. So they are going to be back on the lead lap, but at the tail end of the field. That's William Owen. That's 70 cars, Stony Benfield, I believe. He might still be just 1 lap down. So keep that in mind. We do not want to see cars going below that line. Even with 2 wheels is very bad. So you want to be careful to keep it all 4 wheels above that red line when you're trying to make a pass.
Princeton able to get his damage fixed up at least. The 19's off and away from the service. And that's the tough thing once again about this racetrack. 55-mile-an-hour pace speed, so it's pretty low. However, these pace laps go very fast, like about a minute or so. There's not a lot of time, as we said here, Kirk, to get your repairs done, get any service done. You better be quick, otherwise you might get penalized at the blink of an eye here around this racetrack.
Absolutely. You got to be able to make sure that whenever you're out here on this, as a driver, you're going to see all these guys are very experienced. They have the talent to be able to go out here and compete at a high level. It's just that, it's so close quarters. I always like to say this is like Talladega Daytona on steroids. That's what it feels like when you're driving behind a wheel, because it's so close, so fast. I mean, the speed relatively is, identical to what you'd see maybe at like, regular Talladega Daytona in a truck. I mean, but to be honest with you, is that when you're in the car here at this short mile and a half, I mean, it still feels like you're going so fast. I mean, it gives the illusion of speed, because we're not that used to seeing a mile and a half be wide open all the way around ever since they changed this thing. So even though it's going on out here, you're going to see all these guys, they know how to handle it. They just got to make sure they stay above the red line when they make passes. I think it's going to be not that big of an issue early on. Surprised to see it this early, but towards the end of the race, that's when it's really going to come in.
So restart time. Gitter, Hoytsma, DeCiani, Marti, Miller, Truel, the top six. So all set to fire off a long run up to the restart zone. So far, more than 20 laps complete in stage one. Green flag is out. And this time, Fortis times it up for the inside line to get the fire off.
Marty found a hole right down to the bottom there. We'll see if he goes down. Yes, he does. He brings Hoytsma with him. That will put them back down to fifth. 6 cars now, single file. That make that 7, 8, and now they are side by side for ninth between the 80 of Larry McDonald and the 28 car on the outside line of Matthew Long, getting a shot from the 15 of Robert Miller, trying to make that outside line work. They're the first two on the top.
Fight as hard as they can. Keep in mind, some drivers did elect to opt out due to attendance for the bracket challenge. Some are in the midst of said challenge. Right now, Lawn, one of those matched up with McDonald coming into tonight. So far, it's been so solid, at least in his matchup. A lot of different matchups in terms of what we have to talk about. You're talking about 32 different drivers, a part of the in-season tournament that get whittled down to 16 by the time we get to Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's going to be it's going to be interesting here that these cars are going to be able to race just one-on-one now. I mean, it's going to give everybody in the race a feeling of like, hey, I got somebody I could race. Now, who is it? Let's hope it's not Patrick Gitter or DeCiani. You can't do anything about it. They're 1-2. But, oh, look at Vroman going right up the hill, hanging on to the race car. They got loose and just couldn't hang on to the car. But most of these guys in the middle of the field are going to be racing each other. They got to be able to find any way they can to pass just one other car. So even if it's going to create opportunities where they normally wouldn't exist. You got to think long run. How am I going to be able to beat this guy at the end of the race? That's the real part of this that I really enjoy.
Sketchy moments there on the racetrack, but you're right. Lots of opportunities for upsets too in the bracket. You have a lot of gauntlet matchups. For example, Paul Hill got matched up with Ralph Hutchinson for this opening round. And Hutchinson had a horrific stretch race to stretch up to the wall there for the Altus car. But then you throw into some of the potential upsets early on. Jeremy Miller was the 27th seed. 16, Nolan Hodge's story has been involved in an incident. It's in the back of the field, so you have a lot of potential upset variations in the bracket.
Absolutely. I mean, we got a lot of checkups here on the bottom of the racetrack. You can see that. That's what's been happening here on the bottom of these cars. It's such a big line that the draft is so strong on the bottom, it is almost impossible to be able to keep up. These cars are just so far out there. There was a huge checkup to the point where it created that gap right there all the way back to Hutchinson. So now they got to be able to close that gap back up. And once they do, you're going to see them just like on a dang rail. You're going to see that Kleinman car just catch right back up to the back bumper because this front group is checking up constantly with how long this line is. It's just one giant single file line all the way around.
Single file all the way through. Kleinman back in 2030. You see some of the throttle motions right now he's having to do. So some of these drivers having to lift to make sure that node stays planted and they stay at the bottom. Right now, Vroman amongst those making the outside work at least, but this is what I predicted. We see this a lot in officials this week. People do not want to get off the bottom.
We'll see over time how these tires are going to stack up. I mean, we got 60 laps in the stage to be able to get to the end of this thing, so we're only just over halfway in the stage. The tires are only going to get worse from here, so I think that over the course of the run, we might see cars start drifting up. I don't know when that might be. But, I mean, if you got two teammates next to each other, that's an area I'd like to watch because they might be able to, like, work together to try and time a run just right so they could pass a car in front of them and then pull back down. But even with that in mind, I don't think that's going to happen this early unless you're outside of points-paying position. There's only really one car I see trying to make any moves, and that's Nicholas Vroman. And unfortunately, all of his moves have resulted in just staying right where he is in the back of the field. Currently sitting in 23rd last time he crossed the stripe, side by side with Hutchinson right now. But he is the only car that I can see that chose to go to the top. But every now and again, you'll see one pop out so that way they don't, get, how do I put this? They get out of the line and then they get dropped back. They don't want to get left out to dry. But you're going to see these guys lifting up in the front. They're going to be saving gas. They're going to be able to make it to the end just fine. And they're just going to save tire this whole time. Nobody's going to challenge them. Why would they do anything else? There's no reason to push hard whenever nobody's going to be willing to get out of line to try and pass them. So they just feel really comfortable in that top five.
It should be good on fuel for those wondering for the first stage. Stage 2 and 3, we're expecting pit stops to be a factor for the fuel milers. So the point is just all aboard the choo-choo train around the racetrack.
Yep.
And some people already saying they're in the danger zone on the radio all of a sudden for 16. So some drivers, even with the single file, are like, oh, we're in danger here if anything happens.
Well, I don't know, man. It's one of those situations where they can't necessarily predict how this is going to go. They're kind of trying to get through these main first laps. It's an endurance race. You got to get through them. So in order to finish, you gotta be able to make it to the end. That's the number one thing. So with that in mind, they're choosing to relax, trying to just save their cars, make it to the end without any mistakes. But with these checkups, that might cause some things as we go down and along. There's a lot of conversation going on the drivers' radios that's quite humorous, not gonna lie. That it's interesting to hear what drivers talk about when they get into a long single file line like this. You'll see this on the fixed series quite often, but not as often as I see it like in open. It's surprising to see that this is a common tactic.
One person trying the outside there for a moment was Matt White. Because Roman's also doing the same. Everybody else just wants to remain patient. And we know people are staying loose, staying, well, as fun as they can on the radio. It's going to become the question on when some of these people make the chess move. When do people try and get this top to work outside of those in the back, like right here?
I'd say when the track temp changes. Once we get into the darkness, once we get into the night, hopefully when we get to the night, we'll start seeing some movement and maybe they'll try something else because it's all about track temp, about where you're going to run. But I got to give some credit here. Matt White, take a look at that 10 car. It is absolutely phenomenal to see that car back almost into the top 20. They were running, he wrecked off turn 2 like maybe 30 laps ago. 15 laps ago or whatever. And that car has made it through the field all the way back without getting any damage repaired. And now he's pushing Nicholas Roman, trying to get back up towards the front. He's got help from Stephen Williams, and I believe that's Robert Miller there. But they're all going to be trying to do something to make this top line work, and it has not. That is to be 100% frank with you guys. You see right there that 95 has been even with the 8 car for multiple laps, but now take a look there. He just made a ground and he just moved up a car. So just like that, that ground is starting to work a little bit, but not enough to where I think it's going to be a huge factor for the leaders quite yet. But look at this huge run on the outside. Roman's trying to carry it through and trying to move its way to the front.
They've attempted to do something, anything. Again, the stage points here. Right now, it's just breaking even. And for those wondering, some of the top seeds coming into this tournament, like Derek Heitman, Sponsos in the mid-pack, as we talked about. Some of the other drivers that are in the brackets did not appear tonight. Others like Robert Miller right now in the lock to be able to move up as the 12th seed into the next stage. So a lot of different drivers have already seen the brackets solidify. A couple people moving up. Heitman and Stone.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. They both planned that. The moment that Roman got to their back bumpers, they chose to go up to the top. That top line is trying to come in, and I think that those two drivers saw it happening, and now they're trying to act on it. That 76-57, all of that outside train is actually moving forward about maybe a half a car length every corner. They've moved up to Dylan Kritz. Remember, this all started when Roman was side by side with Ralph Hutchinson, which is about 5 cars now back. So they have been moving up, and it has been working. This top line is coming in. So that's good news for us on the long run. But is that only going to last until they get up to maybe the top 5, or is this going to constantly be the way? But if you take a look at where the leaders are compared to where this is happening, they got a long way to go. I mean, the leader crossed the stripe right here. And you can see how much room they got to get back up towards the front. They got a long way to go. They got to really push it to be able to catch it all the way back up to the leader.
Right now, they are just not making any ground. That line is just nothing doing. For those curious on fall-off, by the way, there is some fall-off on the tires right now. Fall for the top times already up to 8/10. So these drivers are equalizing out the 30-second mark. That seems to be on par with the trap per se. But these tires do have some give on them, Kurt, where they do wear out and cause bubbles like Jason S. Taylor.
Yikes, hanging on to that race car. That just killed the momentum of that line, though, on the outside. Now Vroman had to go to the bottom, but remember, Vroman, oh, they're wrecking! Around goes White again! Caution's going to come out, huge wreck. 4 or 5 cars all spinning on the exit of turn number 4. I see William Owens, Neil Pearson's involved. We got the 09 of Dave Hoytsma involved as well. And then the 50 car of Rich Kleinman also involved in that incident. More cars all sitting on the exit of turn 4.
So, incident stacking up. White getting turned around after the initial slide and bobble. Believe there was some air in between the 10 and the 3, to put it that way. And that air sends him around.
Yeah, you hate to see it. Slight contact from the 3, that sends a couple cars around. Oh, heavy hit there on the bottom of the racetrack. Some cars nearly avoiding it up ahead of these guys. But yeah, definitely not the way we want to see that happen. But like we said, it's all part of this track. It's very, very unstable. These cars are so loose. Any sort of contact at all can set them off. But you see Dave Hoytsma, hard, heavy, right front damage. And just hate to see it for Dave. We got pit stops now. I see a few cars, including Ralph Hutchinson, heading down pit lane. And the leaders.
And you see them all jittering around. Hard contact, nothing to do.
Yeah, he almost made it. I mean, he's gonna be able to get that car fixed. So I hope he doesn't, call it quits for the night. But I think that damage is most certainly repairable. It's just, he almost missed it. It was so close. More cars going to go ahead and come off pit road here, and We're going to have to take a look and see where this all stacks up here in a minute, but I do want to make sure we have a correction out there. The graphic said that we had 17 tire sets. That may not actually be correct. The actual tire set limit is going to be 9, and the incident limit is 17. So with that in mind, I already heard on the radio somebody say they already had 8X on the car from these wrecks early on. With that in mind, I mean, that's just like 2 big wrecks and just going off track and you're done. So you got to make sure that the cars make it to the end of the race here today. We'll have to see the battle of attrition, not just the battle of track position. We got attrition to worry about.
Yeah, there's a lot of attrition building up around here. Dave Hoytsma just had an issue. It looks like he's now pulled out of the race. Dave Hoytsma running in the midst of the field. It looks like Fortis is electing to have Patrick Gitter go high side for the restart this time. We'll have about 11 to go when we get back underway. Matt DiCiani on the bottom. So we'll see the Fortis cars work there. Remember this stage up to lap 60. Tire sets are actually 9. The incident limit tonight is 17. So that's something to keep in mind. So there is still a fair amount of tire sets. The incident limit higher than some of the previous races where it was as low as 11.
Well, you got to know what's going to happen. We saw in the spring there were a lot of accidents at Atlanta earlier in the spring. We saw that all the way up until the last lap when there was a wreck for the win. We saw Alex Murray spin out in turn 4 when Nolan Hodson went up to the outside and he just passed everybody and won the race. So it could happen at any given time, but these wrecks are going to be common. It's just part of it. It's so on edge that not even the best drivers in the field can be able to hang on to the cars in some cases. So just got to be careful. We'll see if that 10 car is able to make his way through the field for a second time.
Cars are geared up for the restart as they slowly roll to it. Gitter, DiCiani, Miller and Marty, Truex and Brickley, Hoffman, McDonald, Hill, Hunter, a part of the top 10. Green flag is out, backing away. Bit of wheel spin starting to pop up for a couple cars, but everyone gets through clean.
Yeah, Patrick Gitter got a huge jump on the entire field, like 4 or 5 car lengths. That might be dangerous. I mean, DiCiani, I think he won't try to make a move. He might not. He may do it. I don't know. Looks like he is choosing to stay with Patrick Gitter and giving him a shot. So that's a smart choice to be able to do it if they're working together. So great jump by the 21 car to be able to hang on to the lead and from the outside line, which is really good. To me, that makes me think that they were, planning something the entire time.
Decent planning going on for a couple of these drivers. The 71 of Truex. Right now leading that outside charge. Less than 10 to go in stage 1. And again, the line's just not moving. The speed differential higher in the corner right now, but they aren't making up the ground compared to wrapping the bottom of the racetrack. It just isn't working.
It's just not going to work on the top. You got to find a hole, get in it, and then at that point, there's this, you can't necessarily even play hopscotch, which is like where you get a run on the outside and try to pull back in, mostly because you're not going to be able to actually find a hole. Once you're side by side, you got to really do some hardcore side drafting to be able to even make that ground work. But the outside line, you can see that Hunter Truex getting a good shot from Heitman. Heitman found a hole. He got in quickly. That's good for him to be able to find a place to ride. But again, I mean, it's all about getting on the bottom. We see Jeremy Miller up here, Tanner Marty, Billy Brickley. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Our top 5 is really diverse compared to what we normally would see up here. But I'm very happy to see this type of racing. It gives these guys opportunities to stick with the guys up towards the front and show that they have some speed as well.
Fortis right now controlling things as a result of how things are going. Been hard to break things up amongst those front pairings as continuing to work on the outside. Truex, Taylor, Long, Princeton, O'Brien, and many others. Princeton in the wall. That's going to reduce the amount of cars high side group together down to 4 with that separation coming to 6 laps to go. And At this point, I think everyone else might just stay content here, as you've said, and just take the stage points for the rest of the front runners, unless you're Derek Heitman, it seems. He's the only one willing to do the outside.
Yeah, he got a huge run. He just did a hopscotch. That was awesome. Great move by the 76. He got a huge run on the bottom, made a move to the top, and he passed 2 cars, pulled right back down in. I didn't think that's what I like to call it. You're essentially jumping over everybody on the bottom line. You're going to make ground that way. But look at Hunter Truex. He's got a huge run. Jedi Taylor giving him a shot on the top line. I think that top line's coming in a little bit. They're pushing a lot harder than they normally had been all race. And they are, I saw them making some headway, and I think that's something to keep in mind. I think that outside line might be heading a little farther forward every lap.
A little bit's not going to do the job, though.
You're right.
You need a lot
Absolutely.
of it. Yeah, especially if you want to try and win the race later. Somebody's going to have to make this outside do something.
Oh, I guess he just gave up on it right there. He's like, yep, I'm happy with this. That gives me stage points. Don't need to worry about a thing right here. That's the real battle right now. Everybody in the top 10 is pretty much going to be content. Side-by-side battle for stage points right now is Larry McDonald, and on the outside, Jedi Taylor. They both desperately need some points, okay? They're going to need a lot of points to be able to think about playoff season. But you can see right here, the 83 car we're taking a good close look at. That's Adam Benefiel running right behind Tyler Hunter there. He's the driver we wouldn't expect to see this far back. But remember, it's so hard to pass, so hard to get through this field. It only works. Oh, my golly gracious. Some of these moves are just really aggressive to try and find a hole on the bottom to get into. But once you get a run, you're able to make a move like that. Tyler Hunter's trying to move McDonald up the hill. He's trying to get him squirrely. You see him going back and forth on the back stretch.
Some people just getting a little bit squirrely towards the end of this one, as you said. 2 to go in the stage. 2 laps to go in stage 1. Hunter having to use the brakes. People getting chippy on the radios. People are starting to talk about people getting too close to the bumpers, making each other loose. We'll see how this last lap on the stage plays out here in the next moment or so. 1 to go in the stage.
Just like that. Let's see who's it going to be. 76 on Heitman. He moves up to the top just like that, trying to gain a couple spots. There's Billy Brickley on the bottom. I don't think he's going to be able to make that pass work. Brickley's trying to fight back on the bottom, and I think Brickley's going to get some help from Paul Hill, and that is probably going to shut him down. But we'll see if Heitman's able to gain any ground. I don't think he has much help. He's going to have to be a really good side drafter here to be able to make that point happen. Going to cross the line. It's going to be Patrick Gitter winning stage 1, and I think that Brickley may have held on. We'll have to take a look at the line. But, yeah, just like that, Patrick Gitter, he won in Daytona, and he just won the first stage here in Atlanta.
Gitter, DeCiani, Miller, Marty, followed by Brickley, Heitman, Hill, Hoffman, Hunter, Truex are how they're lined up. Stage 1 goes the way of the 21 machine. And so far, Fortis controlling things up front. 54 of 60 laps, make it 55, going to car 21. Should see a flurry of pit stops here.
Yep, all these pit stops are going to want to get tires. They were screaming. So once they get these tires on these cars, they're going to be able to get back out there onto the racetrack, and we'll double them up and go again. But yeah, I mean, you're seeing it right now. The track is starting to get darker. You could obviously tell it's not as bright as it was at the beginning of this run. Either a cloud has started blocking the sun. I don't see the lights back on quite yet in terms of the overhead lights, but it is getting darker out here.
Yeah, that darkness starting to really come into play here. We'll see how the night conditions look. I remember back in a long time ago when it was around 2018-ish, this track actually had official races where there were no lights on. We've come a long way in terms of iRacing, in terms of the visuals around this racetrack.
Vastly improved, absolutely. Looks like coming off pit road, though, it's a lot of cars, 3 wide in some places, trying to gain every thing they can. It looks like DeCiani's going to win the race off pit road.
He will. DeCiani in front to get her. Matthew Long, Jonathan Delaney, Lucas Hoitzma, amongst those who stay out. Take a very quick step aside. Restart for stage 2 coming up right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to coverage of the FLCC here on Maconi Entertainment. So, it's Matthew Long up in front who stays out here from Echo Park Speedway. Jonathan Delaney, Lucas Hoitzman, Nicholas Roman, Andrew Dyson, Ralph Hutchinson all stay out as well. So there's a bit of strategy afoot here, Kirk. You have to pit regardless, but it's going to be a close matter for when these drivers can come down to be able to start things off for their service in stage 2.
Yeah, I think that these guys that stayed out 100% did the right choice. You got to be able to get the track position, and we saw wrecks throughout the entirety of the first stage. These guys know that there's going to be probably more as we go along. Sure, the tires are going to be at a detriment, but it's all about track position. We saw that. Once you got the lead, you couldn't lose it even at the outside line. Tried. Luckily for this restart, we got Delaney on the top and Vroman behind him. That means that outside line is going to have a couple great pushers on the top line, but Matthew Long and Hoitzman is going to try and hold them off on the bottom. I don't know. We'll take a look and see who gets the job done. Great jump by Matthew Long, though.
Green flag back out. Back to racing. Already scattered apart up at the front of the field. DeCiani and Munsto's electing to stay up top side. Others just elect to go for the gaps here as they try and build some lines. Owen for the lead. Hoitzma wants the point back. He takes Ralph Hutchinson with him. And we have a big check of the pack as we continue on. Big check of the back.
Yep, absolutely. Saw that. Matt White got lucky. He didn't get turned there. A lot of cars, but Hoitzman doing exactly the right thing. He ain't content to ride in second. He's willing to do whatever it takes. And everybody in this top 10's got to know what just happened, because what happened to Matthew Long could most certainly happen to them. If you get a great restart on the start of this jump and second place gets a gap, do not let him get a gap. You do not want second place to get that huge gap so that way he's able to slingshot right on by you and take the lead from you. He dropped back from the lead to third in that one motion. So just like that, you can go straight to the back, as it looks like Delaney's going to find a hole right in front of Billy Brickley on the bottom of the racetrack, just like that. And now that outside line has just got Nicholas Vroman leading it. But we saw earlier, Vroman's a great driver to be able to lead a line. So we'll see how they handle this drive to the front.
They're trying to right now with speeds up to 3 miles an hour quicker on the top line, but that bottom line gets so many buildups by 2-3 miles an hour back all the way up to the end of the straightaway. Looking like they are making it work though, with a lot of fast cars and a lot of pushing down the straightaways to try and equalize those runs just mentioned for the bottom.
These guys up here on the front three, they do not want to have that outside line catch back up, because if Patrick Gitter gets this lead again, I don't think anybody's going to be able to get it back from him. So with that in mind, they have got to think no more saving, no more trying to take care of the tires. Time to push hard, make sure that outside line gets sent straight to the back. So that way they don't have to worry about those cars. DeCiani and Patrick Gitter there on the top, and Heighton, and of course Vroman. You got all these guys on the top that are so fast week in and week out. I mean, it'd only be a benefit if you knew that they were in the back 20s. So trying to keep them out in the back is the only goal that these guys up in the front 5 really have.
Fighting all as they might. Talking about the bracket challenge once again. One of those drivers, from what I can tell, that weren't a part of the bracket was Vroom Vroom. So once those that have looked very fast whenever he's raced, here's the look at the bracket once again. You can tell those number pairings, some of the drivers opted out because they might miss a race. There is an ability to swap yourself out for one race with a driver with a lower I rating than you in the field. So say you have a 3,000, you must swap, let's say, a 2,700 in terms of who's going to be able to score points for you in that particular part of the bracket challenge. There's a lot of intrigue with that challenge as a result here if you want the cash prize by the time we get to the Brickyard.
I mean, it's going to be something that the drivers are going to pay a lot of attention to, but as for us, I mean, it's really only going to be something we can look at towards the end of this race. But one thing I can't look at right now is that 95. Take a look at him. He's making moves up to the top, and he has gained spots. He is now side by side for third. This outside line is working, and it's coming in only because the cars that have fresher tires and have led the entirety of the first stage are working together to make that top line a lot faster. Now, if you're Ralph Hutchinson or Lucas Hoitzma, maybe a good idea would be to start moving up the racetrack, get in front of these guys. Make sure that you're not on the bottom when they catch you. So that way you have a chance to actually lead the line instead of giving up the chance to be able to do that. But right now, you're going to have a few seconds of that left before you don't have the opportunity to do that anymore.
Seeing a lot of these drivers just try and sort themselves out in the lines. It is a home race, by the way, for Matt Lawn. He is an Atlanta native. And obviously, you want to do well in your home race. Lawn's been doing that so far. He's been very good in this style of racing. We've seen him do well in Michigan, remember.
Oh, into the wall. One car's hard into the wall at the back of the field. He is out. That is a 30 car of William Owens. Hard right front damage. No caution, but most certainly a lot of damage for that 30 car.
Just snapped around. Let's take a look.
Yeah, he just got loose.
Great job to be able to keep it up at the outside wall and keep it from going in the pack. But Owens' race is cooked as a result of that contact.
Roman's caught up to second place now. He's there. Caution's out. They're wrecking behind him. It looks like we got one car sitting sideways on the entry to turn number 3. It's Jedi Taylor and the 80 car Larry McDonald. Both cars sitting at the bottom of the racetrack. Not sure exactly how that may have happened, but luckily it seems to be only a couple cars that may have had that happen to them. The 80, oh, that did not look pretty. Take a look at this, folks. Here we go. That 80 car. Yeah, that happened.
Did he try to side draft?
I doubt it. I mean, the 80 car, I don't think he was trying to do that. He's even side by side right now with somebody. I mean, he loses some ground. He's not clear. Not clear, and yeah, not clear. Oh man, what do you think about that one there, Justin?
I think that's a caution. That is, again, some air in between them a little bit in the first place. But let's see how some of the other drivers skidded their way on through, as this is going to spark more pit stops.
Oh, but that just plays into the hands of the guys up in the lead. They're not going to be able to get lapped by that. So if they want to come down pit road, they most certainly can. But you do just hate to see it, though. Those accidents, when they happen, really do just, it's not what you want to see happen at all. We're still on board now watching Benfield here. You're going to see the side-by-side battle up there where the sun is. And he's just going to get a little bit of contact down the backstretch, spin each other out. And how does he get through it? Let's find out. Here we go. Off turn number 2. Looks fine right now. Oh, smoke. Slow her down. Holy cow. Hang on to it. That was pretty good. Nice job, 70 car. You saved yourself a race car.
So, we get back going here soon. It looks like it's Hoytsma, Hudson, Foreman, Lawn the order as a result of the time of the caution flag loops. So far, so good for those who stayed out here. They've kept the track position as to be expected here. No issues. And keep in mind, Hoytsma, as talked about, was the #1 spot in the super speedway points standings this season. He's the only driver to finish top 10 in every super speedway race this season.
I think he's going to be really the car to beat. That 97, he's hard to beat. I raced him myself over at Bristol earlier this year in the Xfinity Series. He won the thing. He is a really fast driver, and no matter what track you put that 97 on, he's going to ride the Dente all the way through to try to win the dang thing. So that 97 is pretty quick. And the main thing he's got to do is avoid getting into somebody else's mess. Got to make sure he doesn't make a bad block. But as long as he's up in the front, he's going to be able to do that just fine. This is what happened during practice. That's a good. Go ahead.
Yeah, he rode the Dente, is what you can say.
I guess you could say that, but I mean, this is what happens when the Dente rides you. I mean, you don't want to have the Dente ride you like this. I mean, you can see Stone right there. He ain't happy. He's looking at the underside of an oil pan right now. You need to get that thing out of there. Come on, don't let the Dente ride you. Ride the Dente.
Chose the outside, by the way. His teammate Hudson going to be on the inside for the restart. They don't have teammates lined up near or around them. You have Froman and Lawn, Gitter and DeCiani, followed by Dyson and Heitman. Plenty of laps to work with here in the stage, mind you. As we continue on, coming up to 18 complete in the stage. Back underway. Now, when Matt Lawn actually got a better launch than Ralph Hutchinson, but as expected, the 97 drops down to the bottom.
Caution's out.
Caution.
Oh, just like that. Something happened in the back of the field. One car. I'm not sure exactly what may have happened there. Oh, we got a car. Jedi Taylor on the front straightaway. The heck happened here?
Second consecutive incident. Let's take a look.
I am. What just happened? What?
Money shift.
You think so? I mean, let's look on the onboard. It'll show us on the monitor here, I think, if we get onto the onboard, like in-car cockpit. Might show us the gear he might have shifted to. Oh, it most certainly was a money shift. Holy cow. I am surprised. That is not something you see every day, especially at this high of a level.
Very lucky he didn't pop the motor. That's all you can say there. Great effort to be able to get it lined back up and turned around. So that's going to put him to very last on the lead lap. Looks like we do have a couple people pitting. Derek Heitman, believe, may be coming down here. He is underneath the line. And he's coming on down, so the 76 is pitting early.
I'm not sure exactly why he may be choosing to do that right now necessarily. More cars coming down pit road, of course, but I mean, when you know, I guess the phrase that only comes to mind is smoke them if you got them. So might as well come on down, get a top off, and see if you can last longer than everybody else. You know, maybe thinking stage 3, the end of the race type of thing. He just did a top off. He just came in, stopped and go, and it's good to go. That 76 running that new paint scheme, though. I hadn't seen that one out there yet. Nice looking Bridgestone paint there for that Toyota Camry.
Let's pop out. But 20 laps completing the stage. See if we can have a conversation with someone.
You know, I think Paul Hill, is he in the Discord today? I'm not sure if he actually is or not, but I got to tell you, he started 38th and got all the way up to 12th. I think we need to hear how he's doing, because I tell you, that's interesting to see him go all the way from near dead last to top 15.
He is not available at the moment.
Oh, golly. Come on, Paul. Get in the Discord, man.
we do have your race leader on the line.
So we'll talk to him, yeah.
Lucas Hoitzma is currently leading. You've been the driver to be on the Super Speedway so far this season. How would you describe that as you were the leader in the Super Speedway Challenge so far?
It's pretty awesome. I'm riding the Dante right now. Used a little bit of pit strategy, pit right before the stage, kind of flipped it. Now we're up here and out of trouble so far. I'm feeling good about my chance. And I like where this is going so far. I think the name of the game tonight is track position and not getting involved in that huge one. That's definitely going to come here, probably coming up to a stage or something.
What's your approach now for the rest of the stage, real quickly?
Just obviously stay up front, like I said, and try to stay with my teammates, because that's a huge part of this too.
Let's get back to your team. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Lucas Hoitzma now back with his teammates. Called very quickly for him being on the outside there. Hill, as you said, is your biggest mover, up 26 right now. Tower Hunter up 24. Madero's and Brickley about 19-20 spots apiece. Roman and Miller amongst the front runners, with Hodgson also up double-digit spots too. So a lot of drivers on the move from the qualifying positions as to be expected at Super Speedway. Although it's been a little bit tricky to do that. Vroom Vroom starting outside row 2. He has been on the charge to try and find a way ahead in the pink machine.
You know, once he gets the lead, I'm going to be anxious to see how he's able to hang on to the race car, because, I mean, that thing does really well in traffic, but right now he just needs to be able to find a spot somewhere on the bottom up near the front to see how he can handle some clean air. It's going to be exciting to see how this goes. Already, here we go, side by side, Hutchinson, Hoitzma. I think that they're going to set something up to where they get nose to tail.
Red flag is out, backing away. Hoitzma goes back down. And yet again, working with the teammate. Looks like Vroom Vroom not having too much to work with right now. Elects to go down inside also. And so we continue on to see who has a mistake in stage 2 here.
You know, DeCiani just really fell back. I mean, he didn't really hang on to the car, but I think he actually did that on purpose to go pick up Patrick Gitter. Because the moment he got back to Patrick Gitter, Patrick went up, and now DeCiani's going to try and give that 21 a shot, and I think we're going to start seeing him head towards the front now.
Yeah, they're doing a great job on that outside line. A little bit of side draft off the exit by Dyson. That's the major thing. Side drafting is a big part of this package we talked about on the 1.5 miles. Same here. You can pull drivers back easily. You can lose a lot of ground. It's not to the point where you can lose 1 second anymore, but you can now slow up all that momentum for the high side.
You sure can. You know, it makes me think that maybe, you know, I understand a side draft mentality, but I'd be interested to see if anybody tries that, you know, get a large group to start trying that third lane up top instead of going middle. But look at Roman. He just pulled out right in front of Gitter just like that, trying to make a move, trying to be the leader of a line, and that's normally a good decision to be able to do. I just don't know if it's going to work out for him. Got a little bit of a checkup here. 21's giving that 95 a huge shot. Look at that. Ralph Hutchinson does the same exact thing, and now they're side by side for the lead. Teammates going to be controlling both lanes.
This feels like old style, control of the field, trying to make sure your team controls the inside, outside, all the lines. Comes Vroom Vroom. Roman trying to get the pole on Hutchinson. Big run with the help of Gitter. Taking the lead, Nicholas Roman at the stripe.
I think that outside line's starting to come in a little bit now. You see Roman giving a good shot there, trying to make it work, but they just can't get clear. That 8 car did some side drafting, brought that 95 right on back, and now they're pushing. We got bump drafting all the way down the back straightaway. That outside line, that 95 just got clear. He can move down if he wants to. I don't know if he's going to want to right now, considering... Oh, around goes Truel. He hangs on to the race car after hitting the wall, sideswiping it. He is going to keep it green and just a little bit of right side damage. He got some contact to send him up and out, but no caution. We're keeping it green, focusing on the front.
Still not done for the battle for the race lead. Bad bump on the inside. Triple car tandeming on the outside. Gitter and DeCiani working with the 95. Will the 3 Fortress cars be able to clear together? Is the tough answer. 2 of the 3 clear. 2 and 3/4 now clear. And now Vroom Vroom's trying to control both lanes.
Yeah, I think they both, Roman, Gitter, and DeCiani, are trying to get down to the bottom. All 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Because DeCiani was trying to get to the bottom, and the 21 and the 95 already tried to get down there. But once they realized the 4 wasn't clear, they hopped right back up to that top line, and they're going to try it again. You see Billy Brickley finding a hole, now 4th car on the bottom line there behind the 28 car. Just like that, found a hole to get into. Billy Brickley doing a great job today trying to hang up in the top 5. Maybe he can work his way to the front with a good opportunity, but still side by side for the lead down the back straightaway. Looks like 3-car tandem on the bottom of the racetrack, and that's going to give Ralph Hutchinson the advantage as they are 3 wide. A couple car lengths back, you see the Miller boys side by side trying to hang on to the race car.
Aggressive battling up front, the most aggressive it's been for the race lead, possibly all week, you can argue, with the officials. But now, to try and square away any sort of run. Also up there, by the way, throw on top of things, Jeremy Miller's up there, Robert Miller. Everybody else has some big gaps in terms of the form up on the line. Some great action amongst these front runners now that this outside's coming to play. The track temp we've seen earlier has been dipping down. It's at 90 degrees Fahrenheit as we go. We'll see how long it takes for that to dip even further.
I don't know if that was what necessarily got this top line moving. I think there was a lot of help with some fast cars that moved up to the top. But, I mean, you really need a great pusher here on the outside to make this work. And it looks like that's exactly what we got. Fast guys up on the top, making that lead draft, not be able to just scoot away on the bottom. But absolutely right. One thing that we heard from Lucas Hoytsma right before the green flag, he said that he's worried about the big one right before the end of one of these stages. I mean, you got to keep that in mind as we're coming near closer and closer to the end of the stage. Something you got to remember is that you got to be on the lookout for smoke if you're in the back part of the field. But up in the front, there's not much you can do about it, so might as well just go full on and hope for the best.
Numbers adding up right now. The sun continues to peek down the skyline. Looking from Gitter. Gitter just trying to shove. And Gitter's been so good in terms of speed all year long, Kirk. He's been a contender. There's a reason why people respect how he runs in this car. On the platform, he's very efficient, but also very good long run.
Absolutely. You're going to see that throughout the run. He's just going to stay up front. I mean, the only way they normally get cycled out is if they get pushed up to that 3rd lane and they can't do anything about it and they just drop back until they can find a hole to get back down in the middle. But Patrick Gitter, super speedways is kind of his deal. I think he's a really good super speedway racer. But one thing I do want to mention before we get too far into this, the 98 car of Steven Williams, who was running in the back of the field, had a loose moment, came down and hit the inside wall in the backstretch about 3 laps ago. We just caught that at the tail end of it, so just letting you know that he is currently trying to hang on to the lead lap, and he's got some damage on the on the left side of that car when he got loose off turn 2 back on lap 93. So he's going to be a driver to keep in mind and see if he's able to recover from it. But his day just got a whole lot harder.
Getting paired up with Thomas Komacheski in the seeding for the postseason, around for the in-season tournament. Right now, Komacheski has an advantage over him now by 3 spots as they run. The highest running out of those get the seed victory for each round. Still no clear up in the front of the field. It's now getting really dark out. The in-sim time already past 8 o'clock, mind you, for these drivers. Visibility might become a factor if the lights don't turn on soon.
Oh, they'll turn on. We'll be able to see just fine. It's going to be all right. The sim typically picks that up pretty quick. With that in mind, I'm surprised with how well this outside line is actually holding on. I mean, you're absolutely right to mention the weather, but the track temp just got a degree hotter from what it was a second ago. So with that in mind, the outside line just got a great group of guys on the top making it work, trying to lead the outside line. Maybe Ralph Hutchinson's trying to, work with the outside line a little bit, make it a little easier for them to not have to push so hard. They can just be side by side. I don't know, but I can tell you right now that this is the type of racing that everybody's a little sketched out about. When you got cars on the top and the bottom, the side draft effect, and this close quarters of racing is going to be trying to hang on to the race car and hope no bad bumps happen at all. We don't want to see that whatsoever.
All the bumps have been smooth. Roman's been handling the air on his rear spoiler very well all throughout this run too. So everyone just continue to cruise. That's the main goal. Now the fuel runs are coming close to the end of them though. As Roman retakes the race lead, you're talking about a few of these drivers coming up to 53 laps of their stints. They only have a few more laps to go, Kirk, until we start to see pit party needs for drivers like Vroman, for Hutchinson, for Hoytsma. They need a caution to be able to stay in sync with the strategy.
Yeah, I agree. Let's take a look. Can we pull up the stints? My favorite thing to look at, just to make sure we can see those drivers. Right now we're looking at laps led, but if we can pull up this, holy cow, there's a car that's a lapper just like that. We saw him earlier. He had a moment just there, and they are splitting him 3 wide just like that. They get through the field. Hopefully, it looks like they're going to be able to get around the 98 car, who's just going to lose 1 lap so far. Hopefully, he can just stay 1 lap down, but let's take a look at these stints. 54 laps for Hutchinson, for Vroman, for Long. These guys have got to start thinking about coming down pit lane and doing it soon, and they did not expect this to go green as long as it has. They were expecting to be able to pit at the right time, but right now cautions are not falling their way quite yet. New leader, Patrick Gitter, right up to the front.
Able to drive on through after Vroman moved to the bottom. And Fortis now controls things 1-2 at the front. By the way, Prince and Amonsto is up towards the front as well. 7 pit stops. 7? That's a lot. Remember, he's been at spins all race. He's just trying to survive at this rate.
Well, then again, yeah, sometimes, it's kind of a mentality sometimes. You just come down pit road every single time. Doesn't matter what's going on. I don't know if that's his strat necessarily, but that is something that's not necessarily unheard of for cars like that. But it's interesting to see him up in the top 15, top 20. Having a good time there, sitting 13th right now. And he also has the fastest lap of the race, which is actually really good for him, and he needs some points.
Yeah. Right now, less than 60 to go in this stage, mind you. Next lap car up the road that they'll have to deal with is Rich Kleinman, who's dealing with significant damage to the rear of that car. The rest of the field is all in this train. 32 cars in the drive.
Oh, the wrecking! 1 car spinning off turn 4, one, only a single car accident right there. Matt White again spinning out in the grass.
Just looped it. Caution flag is out. And that is the caution that a lot of people on the undercut strategy needed.
Let's take a look here. He's a little loose here. You can see it right there. He's trying to use the apron to save it. But, yeah. It's interesting. accidents like that happens, I guess. He did enter a little shallow. I will give him that. But when he moved up the hill, his car just got sideways. He was trying to save it the whole time and decided just to spin it instead of save it.
So a big spin. And everybody should be pitting here. In the words of Matt White, car definitely broke traction. And now we'll see if we see some splits on tires or not.
All right, pit stops. Everybody's in their pit stalls getting some service, 4 tires and gas. That's the only thing that really makes sense to have done right now. So who's going to be the one to get off pit road first? That's going to be the question. It looks like Roman's done with his. He's going out, but it looks like it's going to be Patrick Gitter followed by Roman, and then DeCiani, and then you got the 8 car of Ralph Hutchinson followed by Hoytsma, and then Miller, Robert Miller. That's going to be the current runoff.
Take a quick break. More coverage coming up. You're watching Maconi Entertainment. For caution here from Echo Park.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's race here at Echo Park Speedway. Everyone coming down for 4 tires and fuel. No major change-ups on strategy. We did see Vroman jump to second, though. Gitter, Vroman, DeCiani, Hutchinson, along with Hoytsma, Millers, both Robert and Jeremy. Matt, Lawn, Murray is up to 9th after repairs done. And Jonathan Delaney's the top 10. Interesting night so far, Kirk.
I agree. It has been quite a interesting one. A lot of wrecks, a lot of self spins, a little bit of just one driver making mistakes. But I'm excited to see how this will go from here. We got to get to lap 160 to be able to hit the stage. So with that in mind, they got to get a move on. We're going to have about 50 laps on this run here. That means everybody's going to be able to make it to the end of the stage. No pit stops are expected, at least to be able to make it on gas. They'll be able to make it on their own. Pace car's going to dive down, and we're going to get back underway. It's going to be interesting to see how this works up front. Green flag's out. 2 cars on the inside get a good jump, but Vroman has just slightly worse, and hopefully he'll be able to find a spot to get back down to the bottom. We'll see.
Good jump once again by Gitter. And so the Fortis cars work together as Vroom loses all the ground. See where things now stand for the rest of this field as they try and sort themselves out here. See if they continue to fight hard like before. Vroman is getting some decent momentum up there right now.
Yeah, he's trying to get some side draft right now. He's really leaning on the left side quarter panel there of Hoytsma. He's trying to get as close as he can without turning him, but he's doing a good job of staying right within his lane. But right there, that 86, he drifted up, almost gave him a door hit there, trying to hang on to the car. But he's got a good run down the back. He just can't seem to carry that in through the corner. It just doesn't seem to work out for him very well.
Yeah, just can't seem to get the rhythm there that they need. And now it's starting to see this field line up 2 by 2, multiple rows deep. And the major thing to consider is grip levels are going to be as high as they can. These drivers are going to be near full throttle in theory. Later on in the run is where the major concerns we've seen pop up for grip levels are at.
You know, I think the real interesting thing that we're going to be able to watch as this progresses is that, like, there's a lot of feathering going on up in the front. I don't think these guys are going necessarily full throttle. Even Vroman, I'm seeing his foot, feather the throttle slightly. So with that in mind, he's just trying to keep the car behind him on his rear bumper, which is why he's doing that. That's something that the outside line leaders typically want to learn, how to be able to lift, make sure the car behind them gets on the bumper so that way they can lock together and go faster as a group. You're a lot faster locked than you are just getting one big shot at the end of the straightaway, which is why it's always good to be able to feather that throttle, make sure the car behind you gets on your bumper like that, so that way they can have this big run. They're going to have a heavy run off the exit here if he's going to be able to carry it. It doesn't look like that they are. So that bottom line, though, has just really been dominant. You cannot get out of the bottom lane. He started in second place on the outside line, and because of that, he's all the way back almost outside the top 7, top 8. I mean, he's going to pull in right behind the 7 car of Murray in 6.
Just able to ride on into the bottom as now 2 of the precision cars now inside the top 10 ride on. Hearing these drivers play around the gearing too, 4th and 5th gears seem to be the major things. 5th gear gives you more pull for the corners, 4th gear for the straightaway.
I'm looking at some of the cars to see if that's actually what they're doing. That's going to be interesting. I hadn't heard of that yet, so that's interesting to hear. Let me take a look.
It really depends on where you're at on the chip, though, from my experience. Some people are right on the rev limiter if they keep it in 4th gear.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still... I mean, if they're able to play with the throttle, I don't think that's something that... Like, I mean, I don't have much experience with that, considering the fact that this is like with the Cup car, they got that extra gear, but I mean, I don't think they're going to be thinking about it much. I mean, a lot of the time they like to get comfortable and just pick when they're like, riding like this. They're not necessarily battling for position, quote unquote. They're riding around, even though they're side by side, they might just be riding. So with that in mind, staying in 5th is a way to be able to make sure the car just, you don't have to think about it for a while. But that is also a detriment to you. So sometimes, yeah, sure, maybe if you want to shift and it's possible, then yeah, go for it. See if that can save you some time here and there.
Right now.
Ooh.
Seeing the cars reduce. Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit snaky.
Yeah, you saw that Miller there on the outside right behind Vroman. Had a little bit of a... Oh, gosh, that 28, too. Man, he's real loose. Hang on to it, 28. Hang on. There you go. He moved all the way up to the outside wall. That car was gone. He saved the car, and he's able to hang on to it. But say goodbye to your stage points just like that, going right on through to the back.
A little bit of a scary moment for a split second. Able to keep rolling out. So, that outside line starting to break up a fair bit here as the rest of the pack settles on in. Still big attempts, big pushes being put by Robert Miller.
I mean, they're going to try, but I don't think that outside line's got a lot of grip. I don't think that outside line's going to be the one that's going to actually be able to get back up towards the front. You're going to need somebody in the top 5 to be able to jump up to the outside and help you. Because those top 5 cars we've seen all day, Patrick Gitter, Matt DiCiani, Lucas Hoitzma, and Vroman, and, of course, Jeremy Miller. These guys have got cars that are really fast today. And with that in mind, I mean, you got to be up towards the front to be able to actually utilize. One of these guys have got to be leading your line for it to be wanting to go forward, it seems like. It's only a select group of cars can actually make that top line work. Vroman's there, but he's got to get some great pushes from the car behind, and it looks like that they are giving him pushes, but he's just getting loose every time he does touch the bumper.
Yeah, I think just taking the air off the spoiler might be the major thing. That seems to be a battle for a lot of these cars right now. so. See how things settle on down here. A lot of the drivers now had to play with a throttle as Roman just got pushed up the hill.
Exactly. Trying to hang on to the race car, that 95, he does. But with that in mind, I think that he needs to find a hole to get down to the bottom. He had a chance there for a second, but Billy Brickley just filled it. So I think he just found it again. So he has a chance to go down if he wants to. But then again, I'm not sure if he even really wants to. Brickley's giving it to him. But no, that 95, he is confident. He wants that top line to work. He's going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. But right there, it just switched. You saw that everything on track just switched. There's a point in iRacing where it's so abrupt. I'm sure they'll fix that in a future update. But the lights just switched on, and when that happens, everything in terms of the visual quality glitches into, like, you could tell it's nighttime. So that's what we got right now. Lights are on.
There were a couple screams over the radio in response to that switch, by the way. John Delaney said he almost wrecked from the switch. But, hey, there has to be a crossover point. We got the crossover point instantly.
Normally it's gradual, don't you think? You know, just over time. But no, not all at once. Like, you know, that's a bug that I'm sure iRacing will work on.
I'm pretty sure we've seen that in Charlotte, too.
Yeah, last night it scared me, too. I mean, it happened then and it happened now. So, I mean, it's a really weird moment. I'm not sure what causes that, but I'm sure over time they'll look into it. As we got Paul Hill up in the wall. Take a look at that. He just hangs on to the thing. Don't go down. Hang on to it. He found a hole in front of Princeton. Princeton gave him a huge break. Gave him a spot to hop back in line.
Yeah. So some scary moments going on in the pack for some. Delaney just found a hole in the bottom of the racetrack. Looking right now at Hill. He drives alongside Truex. He's made the switch over, it looks like, to Premier for his team affiliations. Still 35 to go in the stage for these competitors. And they do have a lot of traffic they're catching up to. It's the two lappers, Kleinman and Williams, and that's how fast you can lose laps. They lost laps just a little while ago. They'll lose them again.
Yeah, look out. We got some more cars. Yep, these guys up here on the top are going to be 3 wide on the exit of 4. Not the best place to be 3 wide. They'll see if they're able to hang on to the race car. A couple cars hit the wall there. But this 3 wide thing is always something that's you want to keep an eye on. As it looks like we got a battle for 4th. Look at Hoytsma. He just made a move on the 7 car, and he moves all the way up to an extra spot there. Just he found a hole. When the 7, 3 wide, he's going to put him 3 wide in the middle. That 7 car is going to keep on dropping back. Not enough momentum. They are 3 wide into turn number 3 and 4. Brickley on the bottom. That's Alex Murray in the middle and Nicholas Vroman on the top. And it looks like the 7 car of Murray found a hole to get back into.
Yeah, some of these drivers having some nervous moments here.
97 actually made a hole. That 7 car went up the hill on the exit of 2. That 97 closed it really quick. He put his nose there. So lesson learned, do not get off the bottom. If you get off the bottom, you are going back. He lost like 4 or 5 spots. Now the 7 car learned that. He's trying to do that to Billy Brickley right here. He's all over the rear bumper waiting for an opportunity to get below him, because if he does, he can gain 1 spot back that way. And look at that. Up front, Hoytsma just did it again to the 3rd place car. That's a Miller, Jeremy Miller on the outside. He did the exact same thing. They make a move once they get off the bottom, and that 97's able to hop straight past him. It's going to be a tactic to look at all night.
Yeah, a lot of scrapping for some of these drivers right now. It looks very greenish. I will say these visuals right now. It looks very hazy and almost sea-like in terms of what the visuals look. These drivers are handling it very well. Jeremy Miller is now getting a chance to try and see how it works high side, and it's working very well.
Yeah, you got to remember though that these guys they were running 3rd and 4th. These guys were running really good spots. Hoytsma was in 5th, but then Hoytsma made a move on him, got him up to the outside line, passed them both. and now he's trying to get back up to the back bumper. DeCiani, remember that 97? I don't take him for someone that enjoys just sitting around riding around. He'd rather be leading every single lap of this race. That's something that 97 is really good at. But you're starting to see more and more cars starting to wash up the hill. I think that loose condition is really in effect right now, and more cars are going to start pulling up the hill. If they're tight, they're going to start sliding. If they're loose, look out. Here we go, just like that. It's going to be interesting to see who hangs on and who doesn't. But Vroman found his way up to the top again. He's going to get some draft push here from Miller to the back bumper of the other Miller, just like that.
Sign draft really coming to play. And that sign draft attempt as the teammate makes holes and makes some room. Get them on through. Less than 30 laps to work with in the stage.
Oh, hang on to it, Tyler Hunter. Tyler Hunter back in the field. He's spinning, crashing, collecting a few more cars. The 80 car McDonald. I see the 20 car Devin Medeiros. He's around Tyler Hunter and Devin Medeiros. Look out. Hold the brake. Hold the brake. Oh, man. Woo. Kulmacheski just barely missed him. Did a great job, that 88 car, getting stopped. Man, that was close, but you hate to see it. There's Tyler Hunter with some damage. Let's take a look and see what happened here to Tyler. Oh, that's... looks like that 62 car may have lost his line a little bit. I think we want to look at if he slid up the hill or not, but more cars go spinning, and 88 just barely missed him. It's like inches. Let's take a look right here. 62. Watch the 62 car. He's on the bottom. He's underneath that 48 car. We're going to watch this happen here going into turn number 1 and 2. The 12 is going to get loose and go up the hill, but that 62, he's up the hill already, and he just goes up and turns, makes contact with the 48, gets him too loose, and that spins him out, and that puts Hodson in the wall. See Paul Hill there getting some damage, and also Jedi Taylor involved in another incident into the bottom of the racetrack. So with that in mind, lessons learned there. That car just cannot seem to stick on the bottom of the racetrack like that. It's so unfortunate to see that happen. Let's ride on board with Taylor, see if he could have avoided it in any way. No smoke right there. That's when, oh yeah, he was just trying to miss it and he lost it. Hate to see it. But yeah, that'll give him a couple more X's. Not necessarily a 4X, but it looks like probably a 2X out of that one. Yeah, more cars heading on down pit road, getting some tires after that run. Probably a smart choice right now.
So pit stops for those 20th on back in this field. Puts us back under the yellow flag as we've seen with the incident. So we'll have to see how the rest of this field now handles things. A lot of people getting repairs done, like Tanner Marty, who was up front earlier. Hodgson is still getting repairs done. It looks like he might be potentially toast. He had to tow his car. I was like Stony Benfield remaining on the lead lap. So for a lot of these drivers, it seems like a lot of mistakes are happening in that mid to backpack so far, Kirk. The front of the field's been playing the calm game and it's been working as Gitter takes the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, the top of the main group up front, they're not going to be racing 100%, but most of the guys in the back are going to try their best to be able to get back up to the front, or at least do something to avoid the big wreck because they think it's going to happen up front. Turns out that 48 car that we saw Tyler Hunter, he just was in the wrong spot at the wrong time, right on the top side of Neil Pearson, who just decided not to turn the corner, hit him in the door, and spun him out. So it's part of the racing thing. You're going to see it. But up in the front, I don't think that we're going to see very much. I mean, the aggression's only going to ramp up. That's the thing throughout the night. But for this stage especially, look out. I think we're going to start seeing some things that are a little unorthodox for this. I have a feeling. But we got Patrick Gitter up top, DeCiani on the bottom. With that in mind, I'm guaranteeing you that 21 car is going to be able to get a great jump, and he's going to pull right in front of DeCiani, just like that. Maybe the 8 car might even join him. We'll have to find out and see how they handle the restart. We'll see.
Reset your field. It's Gitter and DeCiani, Hoytsma and Hutchinson, Delaney and Jeremy Miller, Murray and Roman, Hoffman and Brickley. stage, current top 10 as they run here in this one. 124 to go in the race, 24 to go in the stage. So far, it's been tough to take the lead. We've seen a few moves up front. See if there's some moves here. Ginter trails the top, I should say. But he is off and away. Green flag is out, back underway. He sticks top for now. Now moves down to the bottom, no issue.
Exactly what I was expecting. That 21 car and the 4 car worked together to be able to make that happen. You're going to see that a lot when you got side-by-side teammates on the front row. But I don't know if the 4 is going to want to make a move. That 97, we saw earlier do it, but not this time. I think that 4 car is going to be willing to help his teammate try and win another stage here. That 21, remember Patrick Gitter, he won the stage first time. He's a pretty quick car. We'll see if he's able to do it again. We got about 24 laps before the end of this thing, 23 of them.
Right now, 23 laps to go.
That's right. So with that in mind, single file for the front 7, though. I mean, they really single filed out. The 8 car of Ralph Hutchinson is just not going. I think Vroman is trying to push the 8 car, but the 8 car just did not have that much momentum.
Yeah, just can't seem to get it going right now yet. Seeing how difficult it was in the first place, and it looks like, oh, that's a squeeze. Hutchinson trying to dive in the hole, and Vroman just gave him a huge break.
Yeah, we just heard over the radio somebody screaming, "Look out!" That's pretty good. Oh, no, there goes the 8 car. Hutchinson head onto the wall, collecting Dylan crits, and a few more cars wrecking. I see the 1 car, Dustin Hall, involved in that one. A few more cars spinning and crashing on the entry to turn number 3. Oh, you hate to see it. That 8 car sitting the wrong way on the racetrack.
Caution flag is out. And yet again, an incident. This time it's one of the front. We had just said they were behaving up there, and it's 62 again.
Yeah, let's take a look at that one again. I think that's, oh, Tyler Hunter. Oh, golly, just got heavy front end damage as well. Hate to see it. The 8 car heading down the back straightaway. Let's take a look here. Yeah, the 8, I'll be honest, that 8 car went down trying to get in front of the 62, but he kind of overshot it. He did it a little too aggressively, almost to the point where his left side tires were below the red line. With that in mind, he tried to come back onto the racetrack. However, he was already below the red line in the eyes of the 62. So I don't blame that one necessarily on the 62. I think the 8 car chose try to dive it down as quickly as he could, overdid it, came back up, and essentially turned himself on the nose of the 62. 62 couldn't really necessarily do anything. He had a big run anyway, but more cars were involved in that. You hate to see it, but yeah, definitely just racing incident, something you'd expect. See right there, yeah, I mean, what else can you do in the 62's mindset right there? I mean, there's not much else you could really do when that happens.
So with under 20 laps to go in the stage, we'll see.
Oop. Sick.
So we have the 62 and the 80 both reached the DQ point for incident points, by the way, Kirk. So we are starting to get that point where some of these drivers are starting to get out of the race from all these incidents.
Yeah, the 80 though, that one's interesting. It looks like he got DQ'd from contact on pit road entry. He went off the track on pit road entry and got DQ'd for that. He hit the grass just with 2 tires. He was at 16x the whole time, and he just made that's sad. I hate to see that for Larry McDonald there. Other than him, Neil Pearson also, that would have done him in. So I hate to see it though. I mean, incident limit, we're not even through stage 2 yet, and we already have guys hitting the incident limit.
So I can take on the top, Gitter. And he'll move up the racetrack as we get ready for about an 18-lap dash in stage 2. Forts has just controlled things all night, it seems, Kirk.
Yeah, they're the team to beat. I don't think anybody's going to be able to get up there and do anything about it unless you use a bumper. I mean, sure, some of these guys are still up here, like, you know, and Alex Murray might have something to say about it. A few other cars up towards the front of this field might have something for him. Roman, even if he's able to get to a position where he can get a good run on him. Delaney's been silent, though. I mean, take a look at Delaney right now. He's currently sitting in the fifth place spot. He has been really quiet all night, but he's still been in top 5. He's been on the bottom of the racetrack, not causing too much noise, not getting around. I think that 6 car is going to be interesting to watch as we go throughout the rest of the evening. Prior Coke driver, he's fast. He's somebody who he knows what he's doing. So he's not necessarily making moves that are too dangerous right now. But let's take a look at the 10 car as well. Take a look at that. Just a couple cars back. Matt White, he has been involved in 3 incidents tonight. He's already back into the top 10. So if he can come back, then, you know, anything could really happen. We'll see how this works.
Here we go. 18 laps to go in stage 2. Drivers starting to get DQ'd. Drivers starting to have significant repairs to be doing. Green flag is out, backing away. Jeremy Miller, a great restart. Miller, will he break up the Fortis cars? He has the opportunity, couldn't clear.
Yeah, that was close. He had a good shot, though. He was in a good position, I think, to be able to make it happen. But now Murray's got to give him a huge shot. He's got to be able to make that outside line work. That 21's going to really check up the inside line, though, just a little bit. So that's going to really make that outside line work a little bit better. And remember, that 10 car is a one heck of a pusher. So right now it's 3rd car in line. I think we're going to see a 3-car tandem making that outside line work. We'll see if they can hang on to the thing. It's going to be really squirrely for the next few laps. We just completed lap 144, trying to get the 160 for the second stage in.
Right now, Miller just trying to find a push right now. Precision Speed Solutions cars on the move.
Precision on the outside. Man, that's awesome. That's cool. We got teammates on teammates right here.
To the lead, PSI. Jeremy Miller, for the first time tonight, leads. What a night it's been for that car. Now, able to claw its way forward. Looking like he'll stuck with his boss man and Alex Murray as they continue to work high side.
Great shots given here on the outside line. All these guys are really pushing them really hard on the top. That 86 is going to end up taking the lead here, but I don't think he would want to move down quite yet. I mean, he's got to get his teammate past him as well, but no, he chooses to head on down after the 10 car. Remember, the 10 car is a great pusher, and with that 86 leading the bottom, he can just check it up a little bit, let that 7 car get a little bit of a lead, and then go right on by. Let him pull down, and that way they can work together as a team to get, track position. That's what it's all about. But that 4 car and a 21 are really pushing them out there, trying to make sure that 7 car can't do that. Oh, hang on to it. The 10 car went off the line and barely almost crashed there. Brickley does a good job of avoiding it. Vroman did a good job of avoiding calamity there, but the 10 car went up to the 3rd lane and tried to come back down before losing that position he had. But now that outside line is really falling off, dropping back almost 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths now as the 7 car is trying to find a hole as they're catching up to the lap car of Nolan Hansen on the top side. He's going to be 3 wide here.
Give up by no issue. And so it's Jeremy Miller up front, as said. The outside's now dying off on the run, but the 86 has been in the conversation all night long to battle for the race lead. Murray nearly turns Delaney trying to find a hole.
Yeah, he was loose. Man, he was loose. That is for sure. They hang on to the race car. It's a good thing these guys know what they're doing. All right. Now, what's the goal here? You want to be able to win this stage. How are you going to do it? You got that great pusher on the top. I mean, if you're in the front 5, I mean, you know, if you're not trying to go for, playoff points here, I mean, if you're not trying to do that, then stay where you are. But if you are and you already won this season, like Delaney, Hoytsma, Gitter even, I mean, I'd be thinking about moving up to the top to get that 10 car some drafting help, because we know that 10 car can really push, as it looks like 10's going to have a little bit of momentum into turn 3. Oh, 10 just wrecked hard into the outside wall again. That's the 4th time tonight that 10 car has been involved in an incident.
No caution. We stay green. It's been that type of an evening for Matt White, and this time he broke it.
Yeah, right,
he snapped loose again.
Yeah, that car, oh man, and nobody forced it either. He was just really loose. But now we got a new pusher here on the outside line. Welcome to the fray, Billy Brickley, trying to be the pusher on the outside line. I don't know if it's going to work out for him, but that 44 car, no, he just got hung out of the drive. Roman just moved down, so now it's Robert Miller trying to push Brickley for the top lane. 44 is loose as well. He's just going to make it 3 wide back here in the back of the field.
Some of these drivers really pushing the issue. There's that 3 wide. Brickley just about hit Komacheski, as there they are right there. See them trying to get the 3rd line working for the first time. So a lot of these drivers just trying to fight it out. Now back to 2 wide.
Yeah, they had to avoid it. There was just a huge checkup. That outside line is long since passed away at this point. I don't think that we're going to see that thing come back for the end of the stage unless somebody up front decides to move up to the top. But let's talk about this front group right here. We got a whole group of guys that are doing a really great job. Our leader of this race started 23rd today. Everybody else in the top 5 started in the top 5. He was able to pass all of them and get to the lead. That 86 car is fast, and he's going to be able to try and hang on to this lead as the rest of the cars behind him are all very quick. He's going to try to do everything he can to hold them all off as they are checking up all throughout the field. There goes Stone around into the outside wall. He collects the 29 of Tanner Marty and the 74 of Chris Davis and a few more cars down the backstretch. Devin Medeiros, Billy Brickley involved as well. Oh, you hate to see it. More cars spinning out. Just getting loose. Cameron Stone, I believe, after a checkup on the bottom lane. I think we'll have to take a look and see what happened.
Puts back for the yellow flag, and as you said, big checkup effect. And they eventually start just slamming, and that caused the 57 to snap.
And Medeiros got into the back bumper like that, and, well, it was just a huge checkup. There's not much you can necessarily do about it. That's the second time we've seen Medeiros go around, but the first time we see Stone, getting stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Take a look right here. Here's what happens. We're on board with Medeiros now. Stone is directly in front. You see Princeton on the top. What's going to happen is he's going to go into the corner, and this checkup's going to come out of nowhere. So pow, and then another one. Right, pow. And there's not much you can necessarily do about that. He gets through, he thinks, but Brickley's loose, and he collects Brickley, and both go spinning. Head-on damage to both cars, and they're going to have to go down pit road to see if they can't get those cars fixed.
So, split decision pit stops. We're coming up to 5 to go next time by the stage, and a lot of people here are electing to flip the stage, electing to not take the points here, it looks like, Kirk. Looking to try and find the way up front after the pit cycle on the next caution at the end of the stage coming up.
This is the move to try and win the race. This is not the move to try and get stage points. I mean, this is just a smart thing to do if these guys are doing this. I mean, you see drivers like Patrick Gitter doing this in the 6 car, Delaney. That's just going to tell you that this is the right move, I think. We're going to have to see how it works out. But these guys out staying out, if they have wins, if they're trying to get some, the playoff points, that's what they're really going for right now. They're not necessarily going for the win of the race, or they're just going to focus on the stage right now. That's really what this decision was all about.
So again, your race leader, Jeremy Miller, Lucas Hoitzman, Nicholas Roman, Andrew Dyson, Robert Miller, the top 5, Komacheski, Hill, Truel, Brinson, and Long, your top 10. Let's see if we can get the chance to speak with Jeremy Miller, see he controls things up front. Jeremy, so far so good for you in this car tonight. How is it feeling up front?
Yeah, it feels better in clean air, obviously. You don't have to really fight anything when you are, compared to when you're behind everybody, it gets really tight. So just holding it wide open, watching the mirror, and trying to keep them behind us for these next few laps.
So now how do you plan to approach this race now that you get ready for this restart, knowing you're in a good position for at least the stage points? What's the approach here?
Yeah, just get out of this stage, and then we're going to obviously lose some track position. We pit here, but decided to try to win the stage, and even if we don't, we should still get good points unless something really stupid happens here. So we're going to have to move back through the field. We've done it once, so no reason we can't do it again.
Why don't you get back to your team? Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Justin.
Jeremy Miller getting set for the restart as a control car. Hoitzma, Froman, Dyson, Miller, Komacheski, Hill, Terrell Lawn Princeton. Your current top 10, the first of those who pit. Jonathan Delaney, 13th position or so with Alex Murray. Oh, by the way, there is currently a fist fight going on in the pit lane, but let's ignore that for the time being, Kirk. It's a race to the stage with 4 laps to go.
Wow. I'm going to try and focus on the stage here, but man, there's a lot of drama, and you got to love drama at these places, man. Here we go. Who's going to be able to win the stage? I don't know. Dyson's been quiet. I think he might have a little bit of something if he's able to work with the 97. They're teammates. I'm sure they'll be able to work out and see if they can get that outside line cracking. But the bottom lane, Jeremy, like he said, he's just going to try his best to make sure he can control the lanes. Look in his mirror, full throttle. Here we go. Let's see if he's able to do it.
Green flag is out, back it away. Good restart with 4 laps to go as they try and figure out who wants to get this stage win. Roman getting ready to set something up. Miller sits by as well. Hoytsma on a bit of a squeeze on the bottom line. They check up.
Yeah, the checkup's going to really be bad here in turn number 3. I think the further back you go, they're going to have a huge run on the bottom of the racetrack. That outside line is going to be the one that's checking up the most right there. You can see Lucas Hoytsma just losing spots left and right. He's got to find a hole to get back in quickly. I don't think that outside line is going to have much of a run here. They are all over the place. Hang on to the race cars, guys. We just got a few more laps to hang on to it. Up front, single file for the front 6, it looks like. But that 97 of Lucas Hoytsma just side by side with Adam Benefiel on the bottom. Remember, Benefiel, we hadn't seen much of him all day today. He's trying to make the bottom line work. Just trying to get on by. Maybe he can get up to the top line. But take a look at the top line, 76. Derek Heitman is trying to make the 3rd lane work, and he just pushed Matthew Long up and out of the way.
3 wide, Long near the wall. Pit lane is closed. 2 laps to go in the stage as Ginner sets the fastest lap of the race. Nothing Long can do except drop, drop, and drop. No moves yet for the stage win. Jeremy Miller continues to hold on in front. Coming to 1 to go in stage 1.
What is Roman willing to do? What does Roman want to do for this thing right here? He's up in the 2nd place spot. He's got Miller on his 6, and he's got Paul Hill there on his further right behind him. So single file is going to be hard to make a move, but he does. He goes to the backstretch. He decides to go to the top, and with him goes Miller. Miller goes to the top just like that and leaves that 86 out to dry. He's going to drop it on back, and now the 15 of Robert Miller's going to try and look to the top. They're going to be side by side off of turn number 4 for the stage win. It looks like Robert Miller's going to be able to take the stage.
Robert Miller takes stage number 2, gets the job done with the move. Able to get the outside to work in a side-by-side side draft. Jeremy Miller, who led to start the lap, drops all the way down to 5th.
What a run. That was awesome. Great job, Robert Miller. Timed it just right. Went with the right guy, waiting for the right moment. Moved to the top and got right around him. And a photo finish. Not bad.
Alex Murray actually got a stage point. He was the first of those who pit. Let's take a look at a replay. As they ditch the 86, they set up the run to battle it out.
And just like that.
Yeah, got the side draft of the exit, makes the pass. So pit stop time as Miller is not pitting. He's 28 laps into a run this time by, so it looks like he's trying to roll the dice like Hunter Truex is too. But everybody else, as expected, is coming down to pit road.
Smart choice, I think. I mean, in their position, if they can last longer and get a caution at the right time like we saw earlier, I mean, you could really just flip it and you could still keep your track position and get tires too. So he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. We'll see if it works out for him. As you see that 86. Remember, he just finished 5th in that stage. He had a chance, but unfortunately just couldn't quite keep him behind him. Ended up getting 5th for the run, but they're going to be able to learn from that. I mean, that's definitely going to be something that they'll keep in mind if they're in that position at the end of the race. That 95 is going to be willing to make a move right on the exit of turn 2. I think that's what we're going to be able to see.
So we'll take a quick break. More coverage coming up. You're watching Maconi Entertainment from Echo Park.
You want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, everyone, to Maconi Entertainment. More coverage of the FLCC. Getting it set to go for a restart here at Echo Park Speedway. It's our pit stop strategy. Cameron Stone, Rich Kleiman have black flags this caution flag period. Everybody else still getting sorted out. Tempers have been flaring all night long. That's all I can say, Kurt. We have less than 100 to go.
Yeah, I mean, they are yelling over that little radio there. So I think just keep an open mind for what we're going to see here at the end of this thing. I mean, I'm excited, and I think these drivers have a little bit of something to show us here for this final stage. Hopefully we can get through it in one piece. We'll find out here as Robert Miller is going to lead them under green. His outside Alex Murray. These guys, they're good at Atlanta. We saw Murray almost win this thing last year. He's up front now. See if he can redeem himself earlier this year. We'll see if he's able to get a win in this year, starting on the outside of that 15 car.
So here we go. Coming up to what will be 96 laps to go. We're back underway. Well, night conditions getting very shiny on the race cars now. Miller, Delaney move in. Murray moves down to the bottom.
Billy Brickley stuck on the top. He's going to have to lead the outside line, and he did not want to do that. But he's going to give a little bit of a shove here. He's got DeCiani, great pusher, on his tail. He's going to be able to learn a lot here, I think. We'll see if he's able to make the moves as they are 3 wide back there. We saw Jeremy Miller make a move on Vroman after he, Vroman made a pass on him for the stage win that time. I think that was a little aggressive. A little bit of payback for that, maybe. But that 44 is trying to lead the outside line. He's running up about a lane higher than most of the other leaders have chose to do. And we'll see if that's something that might work out. A little left side draft might work. But up in front of him, we just had Heitman decide to go up with Patrick Gitter. So with that in mind, I think that outside line is going to start being on the charge here in just a few moments.
We've seen Forces control things all night long. They're trying to do stuff yet again. Miller, by the way, is already driven back in the top 10 with his speed as it's a spark show in the corners. A lot of these cars are just bottoming out as the night goes on here.
It's just because the tires aren't warmed up yet. They came down, they got tires, some of them, had the tires cool down under caution. With that in mind, not enough air pressure, they start bottoming out like that. And so we got to be careful on these low tire pressures right here. Once they get up to pressure, I think that we're going to start seeing less of that. But we'll see if it continues throughout the night, though, because it does get colder out there. So Komachevsky, new fastest lap there, running back there in the back 20.
Indeed. So, by the way, bracket challenge still sees a lot of potential movers through. Hopping in front, Taylor looking comfortable. Davis and Marty in month separation. Anderson should be along with no Gossett. Murray in front of Hunter. Lawn over McDonald as long things settle in. A lot of those brackets for the in-season tournament settled on down. Heitman still trying to work with his teammates on board. Looks like they're having Vroman drop back to them to work with them too.
I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, but that outside line has just really started kicking off. I mean, every time that those three cars, the 4 car, the 21, and the 95 choose to get up to the top, that line just starts moving. But every other time we had somebody else up there, it just doesn't seem to work out very well. I'm not sure exactly what could be doing that. But with the 76 trying to give him a shot, trying to work DC on. I mean, Brickley's in an interesting spot because he's kind of breaking up this little train of teammates here. So keeping that in mind, he's just trying to hang on to the race car. We saw him wrecking earlier, but now that they're really losing ground, I don't think that outside line's working at all. I mean, we saw it earlier when the sun was out, but now that it's gone, I mean, it just does not have any speed on the top side.
Yeah, that outside line just dying off right here. Remember the pit window. By the time we get to about 40 laps to go, we should see people start to peel on down. Drivers like Miller are close in terms of being able to stay within said window right now. And so we see who's the first to slip up here, up the racetrack. Vroman able to move on next to Benfield.
Benfield, yeah, he was trying to hang on to his line, but he's running a little tight right now, that 70 car. I mean, he is coming up the track a little bit more than the others around him. That 83 of Adam Benefield, though, he feels planted. I think that 83 is really set into the track. I mean, he's got himself a good hot rod as they go 3 wide. Look at this. Patrick Gitter trying to split Vroman in the middle. Brickley's trying to decide where to go. He chooses to go to the top. A little bit of contact with the wall, but they all end up having to get right back in behind. I think that these guys are starting to realize, hey, I don't think that this top line is actually working very well for us. We might need to, come up with a different plan because we have fallen all the way back almost outside the top 20.
Yeah, that line is just dead for a lot of these drivers right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to make the racing so, single file. I mean, this is exactly something we got to think about. I mean, in the sim, it just doesn't replicate what we see out there on the track. I gotta tell you that right here. I mean, the outside line just doesn't carry speed like we'd see in real times because the cars on the bottom normally get so squirrely they can't hang on to the thing, so they move up to the middle top 2 lines, whatever it is. But here, it's just a bottom feeder, and so they all find a spot down to the bottom, and sure, you might get a couple guys making the top line work if they're working extra hard, but you got to think about this too. Some of these guys might be saving gas. Some of these guys might be saving tires. They got to be able to make it to a certain point in the race. Whatever their strategy is, I mean, if it involves the top, I'd start to reconsider really quickly.
So it's all about thinking and plotting and planning at this point, Kurt. What's kind of going through your mind if you're in this pack trying to plot things out as the field just tries to log laps?
Get to the bottom and stay there. That's my thoughts immediately. I don't care what it takes. I mean, if you got to get the car in front of you loose to be able to get on by them, do it. Get to the bottom because the bottom is the only line that seems to be working. And I do want to give a little shout out here. We saw Tyler Hunter get involved in 2 giant accidents early in this run. But that 48 car, he's gotten his damage repaired, and he is back out there, and he's just cracked the top 20. That 48 car somehow got all of his damage back. We saw his hood flying up in the air. He got it all fixed, and he's back up here to the top 20 on the back bumper at Kumacheski.
Yeah.
Same with Brickley, though. We saw him getting involved in an accident just like this. Take a look. Gitter trying to make the outside line work. Trying to hang Brickley out to dry. Brickley moves to the middle, trying to get the 76 of Heitman out of the way. What a move. And Brickley's going to be in the middle here. He has no help. Nobody's going to be willing to push that 44. But he still has a little bit of draft, and that 76 is trying to hang on to it. I don't think that's going to work for that 76. 44 is going to end up leading the outside line here, but we got more cars up front. Looks like that we had the 57 car who is a lap down. He just got lapped, dropping back on the outside line up front, but we also see Alex Princeton decide that the outside line is something he wanted to try. He's side by side now with Lucas Hoytsma, but he's dropping back as these guys up here at the back of the field, they just can't seem to find anywhere to ride right now.
Yeah, some of those people in the back just trying to find a hole at this rate. The holes aren't opening up for them. But up front, Miller continues to control things, should say. Robert Miller. And will this be the night Robert Miller breaks on through? He's had speed all season, Kirk, but no luck to show for it.
I mean, based off of the last stage, I don't want to be leading this thing coming to the light. I would be wanting to be in third place, second place, something like that, so at least I could have control of my destiny here. But that 15 car, he's leading this thing. He just can't give up the bottom. Do not give up the bottom. And if you see cars go up to the top, block them, go right back down to the bottom. Just for 2 seconds. You don't even have to do it for half a second here. Take a look right here. This guy right here, he really wants to get in so badly. I mean, Miller, he is fast. He has speed week in, week out. He just been involved in so many accidents that he's outside of the cut line. If he wins, that bumps him in, and that will be our 12th different winner of the season. That would be phenomenal if we were doing this after 18 races. I mean, showing that the talent's all throughout the field. But that 15 car, we've seen him have speed. It's only a matter of time before he gets a checkered flag in his hand. Now, the real story I do want to mention, the Fortis cars. They are just not going anywhere. They were at the top of the track, but now they're at the tail end of the lead pack. They just cannot get a run. You see Dyson back there, DeCiani back there, and you got Heitman and Vroman, and, you know, these guys are fast. You know, they normally have a lot of speed, but they just drop back almost all the way to the tail end of this lead pack line here, and they're lucky that they are hanging on to the lead draft right now. I mean, as long as they're able to stay where they are, I think they're going to be fine, but that outside line just killed all their chances of getting anything working right here, right now.
Does keep them on the potential of the big one, Kurt, though. There is that.
It does. Well, but then again, they got to remember to check up with the incident. And we saw earlier, I mean, with Chad Sanner, he had a wreck happen almost a whole entire 3 or 4 football fields in front of him, and he still got involved in the accident. When the first accident happened for the day, and Dustin Hall hit the wall. So it still could happen at any point in this field. And sure, they're at the back of the pack, which gives them a higher chance of being able to slow down in time. But if it happens mid-pack or just like, you know, a couple cars in front, there's nothing you can do. So staying in the lead draft is a must. But if anywhere's safe, I think the top 2 spots are. But then again, it's super speedway racing. The accident can come from anywhere. So I don't know. It's going to be exciting to see if they're able to miss it if they do. But they are side by side with lappers up here.
And let him on through. Tanner Marti loses the lead lap from that. That leaves 24 on the lead lap, all within 3 seconds of the race leader and all in this choo-choo train. We are less than 15 laps away from the supposed green light on fuel, by the way. Some good spots right now for drivers like Sean O'Brien Jr. Tonight, we're not only can we see someone that's had speed potentially going to win, but he also throw the potential of the upsets, known to be common, obviously, in super speedway racing. O'Brien Jr. is one of those you can throw into the hat on an upset if that was to happen, and could provide a lot more pressure for the cup line if there's a winner.
Absolutely. You know, some of these guys are outside the top 20 wanting to win the race. They got to do everything they can. They got to get to the front in whatever way they can. But then again, you got drivers that are like, you know, Alex Princeton. He fits that description. He can definitely, if he somehow is able to, you know, make it work, but I don't think so. I think that you're going to have drivers that are in positions that we don't normally see. Kumachevsky, for example, we know he's fast, and he normally does well on the short run, but with the super speedways, he's got a long way to go to get back up towards the front. A few other cars that are in mind, but we got one car stuck on the top line. Looks like he's getting shuffled out. That's the 74, Chris Davis. Found a hole right in front of Lucas Hoytsma. Hoytsma gives him a shot to get him back up to speed, but just like that, it's very easy to lose your spot if you get tight. Hunter Truel, I think, is actually the tightest car in turns 3 and 4. I think that 71 car is having a hard time keeping the car on the bottom.
Black flag Billy Brickley. He came down pit road, and I believe he picked up a speeding penalty. Brickley.
Oh, he wrecked.
Yeah, he wrecked, absolutely. And that was on his own.
Yeah, I hate to see it. So he was running right side by side with the 12 car, and he had gotten to that position. There's a point where if you enter the corner just in the wrong way, where you enter at on the bottom of the second lane and then drift up to the top of the second lane, the car just snaps loose. And hard right front damage. He went the same way as Matt White, who had the same problem. So he chose to head down pit road after that. You hate to see it. That 44 was quick tonight. I hate to see it.
Car's demolished. His chances are dead. Lap traffic yet again. All the leaders zip in on the inside. And no surprises. I will say the inroads are still being attempted here with all this by Vroman, Heitman, and all those that are drivers. Fortis as the only team trying something, anything, to get that sideline working. So at the very least, they haven't given up here with Vroman in that grouping too.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be 3 wide here. You got to be careful. You got 2 lap cars here, Williams and Owens here going on the top side. They're wrecking up ahead. The 28 car. Oh, huge crash. Oh, my golly gracious. There's the big one. We see about 8 or 9 cars all sliding. Heitman has heavy front end damage. More cars. Tyler Hunter involved. We got Tanner Marty there. A few others. Matthew Long, I think, is a car that we want to look at to see what exactly happened here, but it happened more towards the front. I think Paul Hill. Oh, got it right here. The 86, Jeremy Miller in the 65 of Sean O'Brien Jr. is where this all starts.
DQ for Hodgson as a result of the incident. Let's take a look once again. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if we take a little bit of a rewind back, if we can see just a little bit before this all started, we'll be able to see exactly how that 86 was able to get the run. Let's get on board with him here. And then we'll quickly switch to the 65 to see the wreck. But take a look right here. So he's gaining ground, and you got to get to the bottom. He gets to the bottom, he does. But that 65, when that happens, he just cannot hang on to the car, and they're wrecking behind. More cars get spinning. Both of the cars that started this crash made it through unscathed, other than slight contact here and there. Every other car that involved in this incident was just an innocent bystander of the 2 cars. The 86 and Miller making an extremely aggressive move into the turn 1 with almost 60 laps to go here. I mean, with a little over 60 laps to go. And, you know, that move was just a little interesting right there. When it happens, they check up, and you're 3 wide back here. What are you going to do? You go to the top and you hope for the best, but you see right there, more cars, contact, DeCiani involved. Oh, man. Hate to see it.
So, Fortis machines demolished. Hodgson DQ'd, as said. Back one more time as the lappers all get collected in that, as that's going to impact who gets the lucky dog here. Here's Komacheski's view.
Great job by Komacheski getting through that. Well done, that 88 car. That was awesome. Good job. What I can say, though, is you're going to have Hoytsma with a lot of damage, Heitman with some damage. Oh, man. It was the big wreck took out a lot of contenders that might have something to say for the end of this race. That 97, let's see how Hoytsma fared here. You'll see going into the corner, they check up ahead, and Hoytsma goes to the top and just makes contact. He gets hit on both sides. Luckily, not heavy damage, but the 76 has the left front broken off, so I think that Heitman's going to have a lot of problems if he's not able to get that damage repaired in a good amount of time. So up front, though, let's take a look at what that did to the top 10, because that really shook some things up. Up front now, I mean, we got pit stops happening currently. Most of the cars came down pit road, but if we had to give you all the cars out here that are going to, you know, do the restart, I can't tell you who's where. I mean, we got this restart lined up here. Miller's got the lead still. Dyson, EOL penalty. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Something happening to Dyson there. He had been running about 17th, so I believe had some issues in terms of speeding coming out of the pit lane.
He went through too many boxes. He had his wheel turned fully to the left when he was sitting in his box, so when he went to hit the gas, it actually went further to the left. So he miscounted how many boxes he went through. He ended up going through 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 boxes. So that was what the penalty was. But he also lost a lap doing that. So he had damage from the crash. So that's probably something he was trying to repair. But with that penalty, we also have Chris Davis having an EOL penalty as well. So it's not just him.
Coming up to a restart situation here. So after the pit stops, it's now a fuel mileage race possibly. Miller, Delaney, Murray, Drell, O'Brien Jr., Benfield, Hill, Benefield, Jeremy Miller, Princeton. How they're all stacked up at the top 10. McQuaitzman might be done for the night. We'll have to see. Green flag is out. We're back underway. And a great start for the inside by Robert Miller.
That completely changed the complexion of this race. I mean, remember the car that we were talking about here in a second here? That 97 just told us in YouTube chat that he is out of the race for the night. He is done. That puts him out, but now Delaney has a chance to shine. He just moved up second place. He's going to give Robert Miller a shot here. I think Robert Miller is in a great spot. He really wants to get that win, his first win of the season. He has a lot of speed week in and week out. And this might be the chance for him to be able to do it. He's just got to hang on and lead this thing all the way through. But they are 3 wide back here. Take a look at Stoney Benfield right there. He found a hole to get back down. That 86 is trying to do the exact same thing he did a little bit ago. You'll see him on the exit of the tri-oval. I think that if we look at that 86, he's going to try to get down to the bottom as quickly as he can to shuffle anyone in front of him up and out of the bottom line. Let's take a look and see how he handles this up here. I think it's going to happen. The way he's been driving the last couple of laps, it makes sense. We'll see if he's able to get a run. If he does, he's going to make a move. We'll see. No, not necessarily. So no big run here. But that 70 car with that wide entry, I guarantee you the next time that he gets a run, he's going to try and get to the bottom. Like right here. He's trying to squeeze him up even now. So throughout the run, that's really the only way to pass right now.
Benfield keeps pushing tighter and tighter.
There it is.
Oh,
he just made a move. He's side by side now.
70 didn't want to let that up. Miller getting a lot of time lost with the side draft. Heitman now officially out of the race. All while Benfield is out of the groove and no one to help him.
Yep, I told you that 86, he's got that move down pat. The moment you give him an opportunity, he will take it. So look out, O'Brien. Not O'Brien, sorry. Look out, Paul Hill. You got somebody on your tail that's going to be willing to get you out of the way at any means necessary.
Right now, Benfield, as a result of that, all the way back to about 14th position in the running order as we go. Coming around to 60 laps to go in this one here at Echo Park. And now it's the planning too, because the fuel is going to be so tight for a lot of these drivers here, Kirk, that a lot of people might be oh, trouble! Benfield goes across the nose of the 21. Caution flag is out. Stoney Benfield slides up the track. We're back at yellow.
Oh, you hate to see it. Again, let's take a look here. So he was leading the outside line. He got loose, and he came down in front of Getter. I mean, it was just a car got loose. It wasn't necessarily anybody Getter's fault or anybody behind him. He just got loose himself and spun himself across the front bumper of the 21 car. Take a look at it here just to make sure I'm confirmed here. Yeah, got loose, came down. 21 was just there. And he got lucky he didn't hit anything. So I think that 70 car is still going to be able to compete. So don't think he's out of it necessarily. But he has a loose race car. Maybe he can come down, make some adjustments, get that car a little tighter.
Clear, and that's going to help with the fuel saving game.
I don't anticipate fuel going to be a big issue. The way that these guys are driving, we're seeing like really aggressive stuff, trying to get everything you can get. Every spot matters so much in terms of track position that, I mean, it's destined that it could happen again. So with that in mind, sure, if we go green to the end, it might be a problem. But otherwise, I mean, with these cautions, it's only going to help everybody out. DeCiani chooses to come down. He had damage from that big crash earlier. A few more cars that also were involved in that choose to come down pit road this time by to get some of that damage repaired. Maybe they can work their way back up to the front once they get it all clear. But they got a long way to go to be able to make that happen. But they are so happy for these cautions. It's just going to give them more time to repair the damage.
So, under yet again for this field. Kidder Monsto's coming in, DeCiani, a few others, making sure they don't have any air fuel issues with their top offs. And we've had all of a sudden a ton of attrition. We start with 39.
We actually had a problem under caution on the front straightaway. Adam Benefiel, he got into the back bumper of Alex Princeton. Take a look at this. This is going to be something we want to pull up a replay for. That 83 car, it was kind of interesting. Let's take a look at this here for a second. So it was on the front straightaway just a little bit ago, right before he hit the tri-oval. So you see right here, he's just coasting. He's fine. He's pacing under caution. Not a big deal right now. But what happens is whenever he gets to the front straightaway, there's a little bit of a checkup up ahead. And he came over the radio immediately after this happened. Where is it? This is going to be on right as he goes to the front stretch tri-oval here. I think it's right here. Yep. You'll see that he's, just chilling. He said he was looking down, and he hits the back bumper of the 19, gives them both a 4X. So that's going to add to their totals for the night. The 48 might have gotten a piece of that as well. So considering that, I mean, they said that he was just looking down, and that's what caused that. So I guess that you can really get DQ'd early on if you have that happen too much under caution. Hopefully it won't continue.
So now a restart situation under 60 to go. Robert Miller, Jonathan Delaney, Sean O'Brien Jr., Alex Murray, followed by Paul Hill and Jeremy Miller, Nicholas Vroman, Thomas Komacheski, Clayton Hoffman, and Alex Princeton, your top 10 as they turn. Paul Hill is still your biggest mover, up 33 spots. He has been in the conversation most of the night. He's now entered it later in this event. And you were talking about giving praise to Hill earlier. He's now in the range to potentially go from the back to the front for the win.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of fighting at this track after all this is said and done. A lot of angry people, that is for sure. But what I can tell you is 0x. So thank goodness for Benefield to let us know it was a 0x, not a 4x. That clears some things up. That's good for us to know. But what we can tell you up front, I don't know who's going to get it, but I like the way this is going to turn out. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun here on this restart.
Green flag is out, back on our way. Good restart by Robert Miller. Gets himself already cleared on out in front of Delaney. 56 to go, coming to 55.
O'Brien's going to be stuck out there to dry. He's got to find a hole quick. He's not going to be able to do it. I don't think that anybody's really there yet. We got Hunter and Princeton right behind Vroman. They're going to give that 65 a shot. Oh, look out. Huge check up there. They had to avoid calamity there. They sure did, but they are still, that outside line is just trying to get organized, trying to get working. And we saw all night that it's just really difficult to make that outside line work. It's almost like you are begging to start on the bottom line, so that way you can at least not have to worry about trying to find a hole.
You see the field just trying to sort themselves out right now. A lot of communication with these drivers trying to sort out where they go in the lines. Looking like some of the drivers starting to have issues with grip because they're starting to drift up yet again. Up that middle line, up a couple grooves.
Sean O'Brien just came across the radio sarcastically and said, "Great car, great package." So he went from second place. Oh boy, he found a hole right in front of Princeton. That was interesting. But yeah, no, he's not happy. He started up there in the front row and dropped all the way back like a rock. Kolmacheski, though, take a look at this guy here. He's sitting in sixth. I'm happy to see that 88 car doing well. It's good to see him up towards the front. He's in a position where he could possibly capitalize on a crazy finish here if he's able to hang on. But this top 5, Paul Hill, you got the Jeremy Miller here as well. You got Alex Murray, Jonathan Delaney, and Robert Miller. Robert, this is your race to win, man. You got to go all in. I'm excited to see if he's able to do it tonight.
I'm excited to see if he's able to pull it off too. He's been close so many times. He's been fast. It's just been luck, and more luck not being there. DeCiani right now pushing Matthew Long. These are amongst the drivers that are for sure good on fuel after they elect to come down and top off on gas, or in the case of DeCiani, get damage repair. Looks like they're playing leapfrog.
You know, this reminds me of like the old set that we had for drafting package, I guess, that we had at Daytona and Talladega back in 2015, 2014, in that range. In iRacing at that time, the drafting model was very similar. You got in a single file line and you rode around all day until the end of this thing. And then you tried to make a move, but the outside line just didn't have any runs. You couldn't build anything back in that time. But there was like a very short period of time. It's bringing back old memories, nightmares, to be honest with you. So with these guys out here, I mean, they got to get to the end first, sure. But if you're a driver like, say, Chris Davis, who's sitting in 11th right now, you are not thinking, I'm going to ride around. You got to be able to think, okay, I got to find my way up to the front any way, shape, or form I can. That 65 is so ticked off because he had to lead. He had up front. He had a chance, but dropped like a rock once he had nowhere to get into the bottom lane. So with that in mind, it's just going to be a train until somebody decides up front to make a move. And when that happens, everybody's going to make a move. It's going to go crazy.
Right now, choo-choo train time is all you can say up front. Less than 50 laps to go, about 25 minutes of racing if you think about it down to the time. See what happens in terms of this run through at this point. So, at this point, it's the plotting and planning process of this race. You have some teammates grouped together, some not. So a lot of these team members separated out on the racetrack.
I'm not sure if they're going to be able to work together as teams here. I mean, 19 laps on the tires, they're going to be able to make it to the end. I don't think that we're going to see any problems with gas or tires or anything like that. Track position's too valuable to want to come down anyway. I mean, if they're like this, I mean, take a look at the lap times. The leader just this last time around ran 29.6. 29.6s is what it's commonly run right now. Fastest lap that the leader ran, period, all day was 29.3. So these guys aren't necessarily saving anything either. I mean, they're 3/10 off. They're maybe even 2/10, which ain't much. So you're not saving that much up front. So I think that we're just going all out here. That outside line, if anyone tries it, they're just going to go to the back. So there's a lot of fear in the mind right now where, like, nope, I ain't going up there. Ain't worth it. But it makes me curious as to, like, if you're in the back of the field, we just had 4 cars in the back just decided to pop up and try the outside line. DeCiani's one of them. Patrick Gitter's another. Devin Medeiros is trying it. Matthew Long, William Owens, they're all on the top line trying to make it work. And every time they do, it just drops back. You see how much ground they lost. So much so that they all have to go back down to the bottom. They just cannot make any runs at this track at all.
Yeah. And that's the tough thing about this racetrack is a lot of people want to keep it safe. And you have to have a car to feel to finish at the end. When do you press that urgency button is the big question right now.
Last lap. I mean, if you're in the front 2, last lap. You're not going to be able to do it. I mean, in the back of the field, we have seen it. They cannot gain enough ground to get to the front. They cannot do it right now. No one is able to go up to the top, make the top outside line work. You gotta start getting aggressive constantly. If you're like driver like Patrick Gitter, DeCiani, they gotta get to the back bumper of like crits and like try to move them. You can't just ride and expect to be able to win this race right now. You gotta be overly aggressive because there's no other way to pass right now. That outside line just is not working. They could try to leapfrog all they want, but every time they get a run like that, you see DeCiani got to the outside of crits. We'll see if it's going to work. Watch. So over the course, that bottom line just gains a huge gap here, and they're going to be able to get a little bit of a run. And when that happens, that outside line's going to die. It's just, it just does not allow that outside line to work. And DeCiani's trying. I mean, he's really trying. Him and his whole team are trying everything they can, but every time they go to the top, it just turns into a rock and goes straight back. So, I mean, it's almost not even worth going up there. You got to try something else, because that's not going to work. Maybe a bumper, but that's not what you want to do either, because it's rude to the other drivers. It's considered dirty. But you still, I mean, how else are you going to make any passes in this package? I don't see it working.
The patience game is on for the rest of the field as they continue on. 41 laps to go coming up here from Echo Park Speedway. Tuning in the start of the in-season tournament tonight. A lot of the seeding scrambled by the beginning of this coming through with the Super Speedway. A lot of contenders in the brackets tonight. Going to have some upset sets here, to say the very least. In this one, Princeton with an upset potential possibility on Lucas Hoytsma. You have Dyson that's trying to hold on in front of Hill. You have drivers such as Stone and Truell that have been battling. Truell might get the edge. Others, like Miller, from the 12th seed, looking to try and punch their tickets forward once again as you look at that bracket. Chicago Street Course is another wild card for said bracket challenge because of the road course experience, to say the very least.
Yeah, it's going to be, the bracket itself. During the race, I don't think the drivers are really thinking about it that much right now. They're focused on trying to get to the end of this thing. They're trying to win. I have noticed Paul Hill. If we can get a camera on him for a second, he has been doing this oh, we got a caution already. DQ. There's cars around. We'll have to find out. It's a huge crash actually. 19 of Princeton. Tyler Hunter involved. Oh no, more cars. Long, Medeiros, Gitter. Oh, golly. How did we have a wreck? We were single file. What happened here? That's the question.
I don't think we were single file for a split second and everyone crashed.
Whoa, yeah, it's up front. It's the 48 and the 70 of Benfield. So there was a checkup. It was a single file checkup that led to two cars getting turned and heavy contact for the 48 car. The 28 of Matthew Long, heavy contact. Owens got DQ'd from that. A few other cars got DQ'd from that. We have some anger between Tyler and Stoney Benfield. Take a look at this. Yeah, Stoney just did not see that checkup coming at all. And because of that, took out a lot of cars. Man. We're getting to the end of this thing and attrition's really taking out a lot of cars. Take a look at that 28 car to see how he got through it.
Yep.
Goes up high. It looks fine. I mean, single file, you're not thinking a wreck's going to happen at all until you see a car down on the apron and you're starting to lift and you're like, okay, where do I go? And he went the wrong spot. Just wrong spot, wrong time. And if we can get on board with Gitter, I mean, I think that's going to be an interesting view to see if he was able to make it through mostly unscathed. I mean, that was close for him. I think he may have had some damage, but I'm not sure if it was like a lot. I think this is going to be a close call for him. Everybody's wrecking around him and he got into Medeiros, but take a look right here.
Yep. Definitely got into
does
them.
a great job of getting through it, man. That's awesome.
Still drove through a couple cars though. Made contact with a couple.
Yeah, you had to. But I mean, what else are you going to be able to do? If he went high, he would have had exactly what happened to Matthew Long. He would have so much front end damage. He still has damage, but it's not as bad as some of the other cars that were involved in the incident. He kept his wheels straight and he just tried to find a way through. A little bit of damage. I'm sure he'll be able to get that repaired and get back out there. We'll see. But yeah, that really does shake up this field. Now the entirety of the top 20. I mean, outside of the top 20, you're no longer on the lead lap. 20th is one lap down, and we're going to have a couple cars out from that incident. So with that in mind, I mean, you hate to see it. Matthew Long just left. We also had Rich Kleiman. He's out of the race as well. Princeton's going to try and keep going. Medeiros is going to try to keep going. Tanner Marty's going to try and keep her going, but we got a lot of cars trying to hang on to it as we're now doubling up for the restart.
See how dark it is now here at this racetrack as getters amongst those now with yellow penalties picked up during this caution period. Let's put it this way, the infield care center is filling up with competitors that are eager to speak with them. We'll speak with as many as we can here in the next moments or so, but we are coming down to the home stretch. Miller, Delaney, Murray, Jeremy Miller, Hill, Komacheski, Hoffman, Vrolman, Benefiel, Truel. Your current top 10. Right now, we are looking, as we run, at 18 who are on the lead lap. We had 35 in the main pack about 100 laps ago. That's how quickly things have turned around here, and the incident limit starting to factor in for many people.
Absolutely. You know, one driver, I mean, I'd be surprised, maybe one or two drivers probably left in this field still may have no X's on their account here. But, I mean, maybe one or two. That's the truth of the matter. I think everybody else has had some sort of incident, some sort of contact. I mean, these wrecks have happened almost everywhere. So we're going to get the restart here. We got 36 to go. Anybody can win this thing if they're on the bottom. We'll find out. Here we go on the restart.
Green flag. Back at our way. A restart for the outside as Miller clears on by. The Miller's in the caution. It's
Again.
Stephen Williams.
Stephen Williams, what happened to Stephen? Facing the wrong way in the grass right now. How did we get another? Oh, that looks like a money shift. Yeah, Dyson hit him as well, so I think that we had another money shift. 2 money shifts in the same race today. That is so unusual. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, he just, same thing, money shift. It's 2 of them. I saw it earlier, and it happened again, and golly, there you go.
Round, and around he goes. Once again. Yeah, around it goes.
Tell you what, beautiful talent, beautiful song. You know what? You gotta write something like that, man. That was awesome. I listen to that. I like it, man. Justin, that got me back in a good mood, man. I was sad. I was like, oh no, another wreck. But no, you're singing. It brought me right back, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. You sound great, Justin.
All right, so under caution once again, and we. So now let's see if we can talk with some of the drivers that are in the infield care center. William Owens, now part of the DQ list here. William, talk to us with a previous incident here.
It's very fitting for how this race has gone. I was watching the replay. I don't know if you would have caught it on the broadcast. I didn't even actually touch the car directly. Ghost impact, about 2 or 3 inches, feet, whatever, clear. It sums up how my race went. So I got DQ'd on a ghost contact. That's just something you have to accept when it comes to sim racing, is sometimes netcode will get you.
Yeah, we caught that actually on the broadcast, man. The thing is, what happened is just that wreck up in front of you, there's not much you can do. You were obviously slowing down for it, and you looked like you were through, but just that phantom little touch can really take you out. So hate to hear that from you, but you got anybody to shout out before we see you next week here at the Chicago? I think Chicago's next week.
Not really. I got a couple people to apologize to in the motor coach a lot later, probably, but it wasn't. The car was not as good as I thought it was tonight. I got a win earlier in the week. Felt stable, similar conditions, no curveballs. So I came in tonight thinking, yeah, car's gonna be fine, no issues. And whatever was different today, I don't know. But just a little loose, especially when the sun was out, and that's what caused a couple wrecks. That's what got me multiple laps down. I nearly caused the caution, damaged the car pretty bad. Got it repaired, got back out on track, and was trying to recover some laps. But as you can see, that just ended in disaster. So that's just how this race has gone. There's going to be a lot of upset people tonight, I'm sure. It's been kind of messy.
Well, we heard it. The radio's wild tonight, William. That's for sure. We're doubling up for the restart, but thank you so much for talking to us, and we'll see you here next week whenever you're out there at Chicago, okay?
All All right, enjoy. Have a good night, guys.
It's William Owens currently out of the race with the DQ. And did we just tap one for Jason S. Taylor? I believe he's now had a technical issue. Yes, he has. So we've lost another lead lapper. Gotten up to 31 laps to go. Dustin Hall, by the way, was the lucky dog. It's now to that point of the race, as some said on the radio.
Oh, some of the comments, man. I wish that we had a radioactive for this. I mean, that is some of the comments in this particular race have been very interesting to say the least. But up front, I mean, that 86, we saw him have a great jump on that last restart. And now that he's the lead car on the outside, he's going to be able to hang on to it and try to get some help from Murray behind him. Their teammates, I'm sure they're going to work on a good jump here, but they got to work off of Robert Miller here at the bottom of the racetrack. They don't control that start. But take a look right here, the two Millers on the front row, Miller and Miller, just like that. I like that. That's cool.
All set to go with 31 laps to go. Green flag is out, back it away.
A lot of checking up on the bottom lane, not a lot of grip there, it looks like, early on. Outside line, though, is getting real tight together. The 7 and the 86 and the 26 and the 71, all these guys are like inches off each other. 4-car tandem almost, but that's still not enough. The bottom line still has momentum. I mean, that's amazing there. So with this in mind, that 7 car is fast. We saw him get that 86 to the lead earlier for the second stage, but he's trying to do it again, and he's going to do everything he can to make it happen. But Kumacheski, too, he's 3rd car in the bottom lane. Look at that. Trying to battle, trying to get in a good position.
A lot of these cars starting to scrap it out as we close down on the stages.
Vroman.
There we go. As Vroman moves up. This is now for 2nd. Make it 3rd.
That was an interesting move. We saw that top line not work out most of the night, but Vroman chose, no, I'm not going to ride in 4th. I'm going to try and get to the top, and he's got the 2 precision cars on his 6. Give him a shot into the corners. The 92 almost came up. That's Hoffman trying to hang on to the race car, but he's pushing tight. They're even now for 3rd.
Still trying to sort things out amongst this field. 28 laps to go at the stripe. And
So
now,
we got about 5 cars on the top line, Justin. Nobody else is choosing to go up there out in this lead pack. Well, is it the right choice to go to the top now? I don't think so, man. What are you thinking?
yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but Vroman's had a fast car all night. He's been making smart decisions all night. It's the matter of, will he be in position to be able to pounce for the race lead at the very end is the big thing. Right now, seems like that top just cannot close around the outside to be able to really get the pull. The corner speed down at the bottom of the racetrack just seems to be so much more advantageous compared to right now in the bottom.
Yeah, he's trying everything he can. Don't like say like not from lack of effort here. Like we heard from DJ. DJ, our producer, just said that he's doing everything he can to try and make that top line work. It's just this car just will not let it go, man. It just cannot go. And with that in mind, I mean, you're going to start seeing some cars, give way. He just chose to pull back in and take his losses. He just went back to 5th. He moved up when he was in 4th. He came back down in 5th. So not working out on the top line for him. But I mean, the teammates, they might have something working, but they have to really work together. They're in a private chat probably, and they're communicating. With that in mind, that could improve the way you push. It's just dependent on if these two are able to, get up to the lead. They got a long way to go. But Robert Miller, his goal now is just to not move, stay where he is, try to hold off Delaney.
Know who's in the conversation too? Adam Benefield. Hasn't really been in conversation all night, surviving to be able to get himself at the top 10 here. And now is looking to try and join the fray. He's up to 6th.
I don't know if that 83 is going to be able to make it much further up front, but he has, we know that car is fast. He's always somebody who's really competitive and has a lot of speed, but a super speedway like this where we're stuck on the bottom, I mean, and he's got Vroman in front of him. He's a very respectful driver. He's not someone to, like, you know, be rude behind the wheel. That's something I appreciate about that 83 car. But I can tell you right now that I don't know what he's going to be willing to do to try and win this thing, or at least finish well. He's got a ways to go to get up towards the front, but he's in a good position for points today, that's for sure.
That you can definitely say right now. Right now, DeCiani trying to now make some inroads. Now he's the one being pushed forward in the Fortis car. Looks like it's the go time if you've got a clean race car, or at least for Fortis to set something up. Just continuing to go the wrong direction. Still no setup, coming to 21 laps to go.
You know, I think what we're going to see here at the end of this race, so once we get down to like 2 or 3 laps to go, that's when it's all going to get a little chaotic. For the front, like maybe for the back part, yeah. But, I mean, we saw in the Daytona 500 earlier in the year, Kyle Busch had a big run. He wanted to try and make a move to the top to try and win the Daytona 500 in the real life race. When he did that, nobody went with him, and he got out. We got a DQ, Devin Medeiros. He just hit the wall hard on the exit of the corner, and he is out. He hit the incident limit right there, so that will take him out, and he will most likely finish in 18th spot. Still a top 20 spot, even after getting DQ'd, possibly.
Right now, seeing some technical issues, by the way, to report. Darrell's now that limit, so less than 20 laps to go. Right now, Robert Miller in control of his destiny. Remember, he took the stage lead before as a result of being able to use the side trap to his advantage to the outside. Right now, he's in the reverse rule with drivers like Delaney, like Komachevsky, hungry for wins. Komachevsky looking for a first win of the season, mind you, in this train. And this can go any direction soon in 18 laps time.
Oh, man, it's exciting. I'm excited to see what they choose to do. I mean, if you're in the back of the field, I mean, you got to accept where you are right now. You can't necessarily do anything here. I don't think that Delaney is going to make any move whatsoever until that last lap. I've been saying that since the start of this thing. I don't think 1 lap to go. That will be the move. Down the backstretch, 1 lap to go to the top. I think that's what's going to happen on out of turn number 2. Maybe even out of turn 4. If he gives him a good shot out of 4, who knows? He could make a move to the top there and got some help from Komachevsky or something. I don't know. But Delaney's going to do what he needs to do to try and win this race, and he knows if he takes a step out now, he ain't going to be able to hang on to the lead, that's for sure.
See them starting to slide off the bottom of the racetrack right now. That's going to be the tough thing right now for many of these drivers, is that slip. No one's been able to dive their way on through, though. 16 laps to go to tick away on time.
Jeremy Miller just did the same thing he was doing all race. He just did it to the 41 of Dyson. He gets a good run, he gets underneath them, and he moves them up the hill. He puts them in a precarious position where they are forced to either crash or move up the hill. And they always choose to move up the hill so far for that 86 car, with the exception of that one time when the big crash happened. So keep that in mind. That 86, he's trying to get his way back to the front the hard way, but it's the only way right now that I can see that's even possible.
All you can say is, what can you do? You have to, if the bottom opens up, have to do something. Right now, coming up to 14 laps to work with. You can hear the patience level starting to rise. Delaney with a big bobble in the corner.
Getting loose? Oh, all right. Now I'll start thinking about that because that's going to be an aspect of the move. If you got the wrong spot at the wrong time, I mean, that could really affect the car, and it's going to, if any bobble, if you enter the corner just in the wrong way, the car can definitely slide out from underneath you. But I wouldn't think that's going to happen to these guys, but if it does, we'll know. I mean, it'll be blatant. They just got to hang on to the car. The cars are loaded up in the corners now with a full air pressure. With that in mind, it's starting to burn them up, and you'll start seeing more cars slide out loose or, slide up and out of the groove.
Slowly but surely, just trying to pace themselves now to close things up right. 12 laps to go coming up.
Passing the lap car, Princeton on the outside there. Princeton currently sitting 19th, 18 laps down. Yeah, he's just trying to milk this thing all the way around, but for the lead, yeah. I'm not sure what I would do in this situation if I was 5th on back. I mean, there's not much you can do. We're kind of stuck. I'm excited to see what the last lap looks like because it might really get chaotic once we hit the white flag. We'll have to see. But up in the front, still single file. They're just milking it until they get all the way down to the end, and then they'll start making some moves. We got 11 to go when they cross the stripe, so we're almost there. It's a little cooler than it started. We're at 84 now for the temps. It was 94 when we started, something like that. So it's cooled down quite a bit.
Coming up to 10 laps to go. No one willing to step out of line. Couple drivers snaking at the back of the field, but everybody else just trying to wait and see if anybody slips up for the fight for the win. 10 to go from Echo Park. And here we go. Some drivers trying to go. Truel going to the outside.
I don't know if that's going to work out here. I think he may have had somebody put a move on him, be able to get underneath him. That's something that happens a lot, but he's also blinking a little bit, so I think that could be another thing that could have caused that one. We'll have to take a look. Hill put a move on him. I figured that was what it was. There's no way that he would willingly go up to the top unless somebody had gotten underneath him. Once that happens, it's kind of a sitting and duck. So I think Hill has saw what Jeremy has been doing, and he's been able to, avoid it. But everybody else, I mean, you got to keep an eye on the car behind you, because if you slide up off the bottom, he will try and take advantage of it.
So far, just the one car now on the top line. I believe that's Tanner Marti now. Everybody else just rides and rides on. Less than 8 laps to go. Looking like some of these drivers try to test out the runs, though. Some big gaps have built up in the bottom line for it being single file. Jeremy Miller taking a little poke outside, no move. Sean O'Brien takes a small snake to the outside, doesn't take it either.
Ooh, man, I mean, if you're sitting in that 15 car, you're getting anxious. You're like, okay, we're getting close. Now I got to start trying to think what I'm going to do on that last lap when they finally decide to start racing a little bit. I don't know what his move's going to be. I can't tell you what it's going to be, but I can tell you that that 15 is going to be anxious all the way until the checker right here. He's leading this thing. He has a chance to be a winner. You just got to be able to close it out, man. Watch out. You got an ex-Coke driver on your 6 there. It's going to be a little harder to be able to focus when you know you got a guy of that much talent right on your tail.
6 to go. And right now, no one blinking an eye yet. Again, a different paint scheme from Miller's compared to much of the rest of the season. Went with the standard Alta scheme tonight. It's worked for him. Here comes Roman. He moves up with Benefiel. They try something to the outside. 5 laps to go.
Yeah, he pulled right back in after he saw that wasn't going to work. Yeah, Benefiel now stuck. He's got to find a hole, and he's got to find it quickly, because right now he's not in a good spot. He's up top. He can't find a hole that way. He's going to end up dropping all the way back. There's a small hole behind the 86. If he lifts and gets behind the 86, he might be able to get in, but maybe not. Oh, he's going to try and cut in front of that 86 just like that, and he does. He's going to end up taking that there. man, I think that they all realize it's go time. You got to move. But nobody's willing to go to the top. I mean, the entire line would have to decide to go to the top to be able to make a move on the leaders. Because I don't think that the 2 cars on the bottom would be able to hold off the entire field. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it couldn't either. So we'll see. Coming down to 3 laps to go when they cross the stripe.
Conversations on how they're going to approach things with that apron down there. 3 laps to go. Komacheski takes a small little flare out. No run to take anything yet. Delaney still keeps up the bumps. Trying to still stay on the bumper of the 15 for now. Roman's trying something into the corner here. He dove it in deep. He's trying to make topside work. That 92 is going to hold him up top. It's for the 4th place spot. He's got to get back down quick. He's got to hurry and find a hole. He did right there in front of Chris Davis. Chris Davis is going to give him a shot as we're down to 2 laps to go. Lead of the race. That's what we're going to focus on right here. Delaney. He's hanging on to the thing. I don't see anybody else making any moves so far. It has been all Robert Miller right now. Delaney's on the 6, but more cars trying to top. There we go. We see some cars move up to the top just like that. There goes the 92. Trying to get some help with the 95 of Roman. Roman doesn't have any help, though. It's just those 2 coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here from Echo Park Speedway. And Delaney makes a move to the bottom as Miller goes up to the top to block. Here we go, side by side for the race win. Delaney on the inside with Komacheski. Outside of the Altus cars. Robert Miller tries to get a push. Now they crash. There goes the help. Robert Miller loses his help. Komacheski backs off. Miller has damage. They slam for second. Jonathan Delaney takes the win from Echo Park. At 15, oh man, that's a good job for Delaney. All he had to do was hold the bottom. That's all you had to do to win this race is hold the bottom. And it's exactly what the 6 did, and that's why he won this race. He won the race by riding the bottom the entire way around, and that's exactly the only way you could win in the next-gen car here in iRacing as of today at Echo Park. See what happened once again. The run started to come, the teammates started to work together, and then calamity struck at the back straight away. I mean, I see what they're trying to do. I understand teammates on the outside, but we saw all night the outside line is just not the line to get into. More cars get involved in an accident. Roman gets taken out. The teammate gets taken out. And the moment that happened, he just had no chance. So, I mean, more cars involved in the incident there. But interesting top 10 here. We got Delaney taking the win. Komacheski somehow gets second. Great job for him tonight. Robert Miller gets third. Man, that's cool. It's cool top 3. But, man, you got to really feel for Robert. I really thought it was his night tonight. But Delaney, give him all the props. He did everything he had to do, which is hold the wheel straight, don't leave the bottom line. That's all you have to do to not get past here, and it works for him. So he wins the race today. So Delaney gets the celebration down. We'll take a step aside. Post-race coverage coming up. We're watching Maconi Entertainment for coverage of the FLCC.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Full-Length Cup Challenge. Tonight, Jonathan Delaney is the one who gets to celebrate a victory. Let's see that unofficial race result. Thomas Komacheski and Robert Miller in the top three. Sean O'Brien Jr. in fourth. Paul Hill in fifth. Benefield, DeCiani, Miller, Jeremy Miller specifically. Nicholas Roman and Alex Murray get top 10s.
Finishing in 11th this afternoon will be Chris Davis. 12th will be Tanner Marty. 13th, Hunter Truell. 14th, Andrew Dyson. 15th, Patrick Gitter. 16th will be Clayton Hoffman. 17th will be Stephen Williams. 18th will be Alex Princeton, with Devin Medeiros finishing in 19th. 20th, Dustin Hall. And the rest of the drivers on the list did not finish this race.
That's a look top to bottom. Once again, rest of the order featuring Kritz, Taylor, Hunter, Benfield should say. Lawn, Kleinman, Owens, Heitman, Lucas Hoitzmel back there, as well as Billy Brickley. Other drivers out of the race included Camp Stone, Hodgson, White, McDonald, Hutchinson, Pearson, Robinson, Dave Hoitzmel, Chad Sanner, all amongst the DNF list here in Atlanta/Echo Park. But in the end, Jonathan Delaney is the one who takes the victory here on Maconi Entertainment. He now joins the broadcast booth. Jonathan, congratulations on the win tonight. Talk us through that final lap.
Oh man, yeah, very. You never know what to expect. Going that last lap, I didn't know what Robert would do. And honestly, if he wouldn't have made a move, I don't know what I could have done to get around him. It was really hard to pass him, by yourself. Just out in clean air, it's it's really, really good. So I don't know if I would have been able to get around him just by myself. Robert went high up in coming out of I think it was 2 or I don't know, but he went high to link up with his teammate, and they just kind of didn't link up too well. Robert got damaged and just caused them to wreck. So unfortunate for him and all that, but we just kept right in the bottom and able to come home and take the victory. So I'm really happy about that. I would have been happy finishing second or even third, but I will take that. I'm pretty happy about that.
So overall, in this one, our first 3-time winner of the season, mind you, this one here. So how difficult has it been to try and get wins in a season like this where we've seen 11 different winners so far? What is the big challenge when it comes to being able to contend for wins in a series like this?
Yeah, I mean, hey man, there's a lot of competition out here. Everybody's on really good sets every week. Everyone comes prepared. I should say most of the people come prepared and really look forward to racing these races and are really competitive. So, some weeks people are going to be really good. Sometimes you're going to be, okay, and it all depends. This is an open setup league. Everyone's going to have a better short run or a better long run car, or a better medium run car, or everyone runs. It's all different, and to race against all these guys that are at such high level, and to especially with the open set, it's amazing. I've been doing this for 4 years now, and every year it just keeps getting better and better. So have lots of fun. Strategy too. Strategy is really big, especially with these long races. Being able to change the car. Car changes a lot throughout the race, so knowing how to adjust and keep up with the track temp and track changing is always really good. Key to helping you win these races, and then also keeping the track position too. With this new kind of draft model, dirty air is really bad, and passing's harder than it used to be. So staying up front, which is kind of pretty much what we did all night. Staying up front as much as we could, keeping the clean air, keeping the track position, and ultimately just got to be there at the end. And that's what you try to do. And it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you get caught up in wrecks, or you get to take a bad swing at the car under caution, trying to adjust for track, and it doesn't always work out your way, but worked out our way tonight, and pretty happy about it. So yeah.
How do you feel about Chicago next week?
Oh man, I don't know. Lately, road courses haven't been my cup of tea. I don't know. I'm not too good there. But the road tire got a new update, so hopefully it's a little bit better. Hopefully we'll be able to drive it. Be more better competition compared to everyone else. So we'll see. It is a street course, so be pretty bumpy. Not a lot of grip, and that'll be interesting. So kind of probably going to be about the same. Dirty air is going to be pretty big, and passing is not going to be so easy. So it's a pretty tight track. So we'll see. Hopefully we can kind of do the same thing we did tonight. Qualify up front, keep clean air, and ultimately be at the end. So yeah.
Any shout out you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, everyone at RHM, Ralph, and all those guys working on the set. And then Logan Sheets helping with the set as well, and helping with adjustments during the race, getting it dialed in, and all that, helping with strategy. Everyone who ran tonight, I had pretty good bit fun. I know some guys in the back didn't have as much fun, but it was a good race. Thank everyone who runs this league, Bryson, Bobby, and Jason. So thank those guys, and then you guys up at the booth. I always appreciate you guys broadcasting this, and yeah, so that's all I got, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on the win here, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Jonathan Delaney comes away with the victory here in this one tonight. Thomas Kovacheski comes away second. He's with Kirk.
Thomas Komacheski, man. You got second place tonight. You had a fast hot rod underneath you. Tell me, is there anything you could have done differently to be able to try and get one spot better here tonight? And how you feel about getting the top three?
I mean, that felt great. I mean, it was fun just riding around in the back for most of the race. Just wanted to be there at the end. I was hoping they were both going to slide up because Chris was behind me there. So I was hoping they were both going to slide up there and I would take the bottom because I couldn't go up top.
Well, I got to ask you, Thomas. You saw all night that top line was like poison. I mean, you stayed right where you needed to be. You got all the way up to the top five. Did you have any plan other than just hoping to see that they would go up, or is there anything else that you could have done throughout the race to possibly get any better than second here tonight?
You know, if I wasn't so tight, I probably would have shot outside, but mainly I was just going to stay on the bottom there and hope Chris would push me and just hope for the best.
Man, I got to ask you, man, you got anybody you want to shout out before you head back over there to Chicago next week? It's going to be a lot of fun over there. Tell me what your feelings are about that track, and also shout out anybody you'd like to as well.
Chicago is going to be interesting. Not the best at road courses. I mean, I'll give it my all, but, you know, it is what it is there. And I'd like to thank everybody at Team Watson putting together a great car, and BMP as well.
All right, well, thank you, man, so much for talking with us. Congratulations on getting the top three. Second place sounds pretty good to me. Have a good job there, Thomas.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Yes, Thomas Kovacheski second. Robert Miller. It could have been the night. Ends up coming around, lean towards the final laps. 98 laps led, Robert. It was close.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good race for me, aside from the first half where I got involved in everybody's crap. But
Robert, you got a copy?
You hear me? Got me?
Yeah, now we got you loud and clear. Go ahead.
That was weird. Yeah, I mean, it was a good race for me overall, aside from the first half where I got involved in some nonsense, but I was able to get the car fixed because this thing's a tank, and just kept her clean from there. Just kept taking runs where I can get them, and using strategy to get ahead. I kind of did what anybody else wasn't doing that second stage, and I was able to get a second win and able to stay out front.
So on that note here with this, what is your approach going to be for Chicago with the road course coming up?
I mean, I'm not terrible at road courses. I'm not the greatest. I'd say me and John are pretty much right with each other in terms of road course ability. Nick Verhoeven too. We're pretty close to each other, so it'll be a good race there. But Dyson's still the go-to person for road coursing around here in this league.
So on that note, anyone who want to thank or give a shout out to here tonight?
Altus Esports, of course. VRS, Altus Engineering. I build for Outlier setup shop. And I built the A car for that one. And that set too. So it was a hot rod of a set. And yeah, looking forward to it for rest of the year.
Congratulations on the podium, Robert.
Thank you.
Robert Miller rounds out the top three. I'd like to take the time to thank the entire top three who speak with us during post-race coverage here on Maconi Entertainment. As mentioned, we go to Chicago next time, Kirk. The street circuit.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and the drivers, it's going to be a real challenge for them. So I'm excited to be able to see how they're able to handle it next week, July 5th at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to tune in and see how our drivers here in the Full Length Cup Challenge are able to handle that road course and the street course, I should say, in Chicago.
Should be a fun time. Once again, be sure to tune in here at Maconi Entertainment. But on that note, it's just about time to say goodbye. Like, thank you for tuning in as well for this evening's action. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Kirk Mills with DJ Line producing. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's racing action. Let me stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to our entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.
Be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.